Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the D and WhatIf, with another fanfiction. This is the first part of WhatIf Izuku and Izumi were separated at birth. All credits for this video go to their respective authors. So please support the real author. Check out the link in the description for more details. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. This story starts on a night in Japan, more specifically in Musutafu. It's a slightly raining day and we can see a green-haired woman about 27 years. Her name is Inko Midoriya, holding her newborn Izuku Midoriya. But what is she doing here? Well, right now she's heading to an orphanage to leave her son to have better life. You see, Izuku isn't her only kid. On the day that Izuku was born, Inko had twins, a boy, Izuku, and a girl, Izumi. Usually, a mother would be happy about that, and she was, but there was a problem. Her husband, Hisashi Midoriya, who's working in America, doesn't send her enough money to take care of 2 babies. So she had to take a hard choice. She decided to keep Izumi and give her son Izuku in adoption. So here we are at the orphan new life. She tried her best to avoid crying, but she didn't have another choice. She must leave Izuku here so he can have a better life than the one she could give him. I'm so sorry, Izuku. I really am. But this is the best for you. I can't give both of you a good life, so I hope you can forgive me one day. Goodbye, my baby. With those final words, leaves the orphanage, and without looking back, she disappears on the distance. 4 years later, Oni-san, where are you? Said a little kid searching for someone. This kid has green hair and eyes, with 4 freckles on each cheek and a plain face. He is wearing a kid's black tuxedo suit. This is, indeed, Izuku Midoriya. Well, not anymore. His name is now Yamakumo Riverdale. Just a few months after being in the orphanage, he was adopted by a rich family, the Riverdale. They are cool and nice, so he loved his life right now. Hey there, Yami. Searching for me, said a voice. That voice was his brother's, a 15-year-old boy with short red hair and red eyes, wearing a red shirt and black jeans and red shoes. His name is Zachary Riverdale, or just Zach. Yes, you said that you would help me with my books, said Yamakumo with a pout. Oh, come on, Yami. I know you are really smart and love your books, but come on, you need to play as a kid for a bit, said Zach to his little brother with a big grin on his face. I would play, but you only want to play heroes. I like to play something different, answered Yamakumo with a small frown. That was half the truth. Yamakumo enjoyed playing with his older brother, but he preferred to read and learn new things every day. He is really smart for a 4-year-old kid. He actually knows that he is adopted and is okay with that. He likes his parents, but most important, he loves his older brother. He would never admit that and sees him as an inspiration. Well, I'm going to be a hero one day, so it's only logical that I only play heroes. The UA entrance exam is near, so I have to train, and the best way to train to be a hero is to play heroes, said Zach with an even bigger smile on his face. I swear that sometimes you are more childish than me. Fine, I can play heroes with you, said Yamakumo with a slight smile. Speaking of heroes, has your quirk awakened? Asked Zach. No, not yet, but that's okay. I just turned 4 a few months ago and I don't want to be a hero anyway, answered Yamakumo with a neutral face. Come on, didn't you want to play? The rest of the day passed normally. Yamakumo lived on a big mansion with his brother and parents, but something weird about his parents is that they're always in the phone talking about some business. He never asks about that. Is obviously about work, so he never asks. It's nighttime. As any normal night for Yamakumo, he is sleeping, but something is different, and he is about to find out. Hey Yami, wake up. Come on, wake up. After hearing that, he snaps his eyes open and sees his brother with a worried face. Good, you are awake. Come on, we have to go. What? He tries to ask. Zach interrupts him before he can say anything. No time to explain. We have to go before they notice. Don't worry, everything will be okay. Just trust me. Fine, but you better explain everything to me later, said Yamakuno. Both brothers go to the exit of the mansion, but before they can leave, they hear someone. And where do you think you're going, young boys? Said a voice. They quickly turn around. It was their mother, Margaret Riverdale. She was quite angry. Shit, she found out. Zach was terrified at that moment. You know what time is it? Go back to bed. Now, Yamakumo was confused, but before he can do anything, a loud no. Kabi heard. It was his brother, and he was angry, terrified but angry. No, do you think I don't know? What do you want to do with us? I already called the heroes and police, so you can't do anything to stop us from leaving this damned place, screamed Zach. Zach, are you crazy? What's going on? They are planning to sell us. When I woke up for a glass of water, I heard our parents talking to someone about selling us as lab rats for some kind of league or something. After hearing this, Yamakumo was shocked, and with fear he just asks, is that true? It looks like our plans were revealed, but that doesn't change anything. You're going to make us rich. And with that, Margaret was in front of them, but this time her hand had 5 razor-sharp claws in it. Margaret Riverdale. Quirk, razor claws. She can turn her nails into razor-sharp claws made of metal and can cut almost anything. Run, screamed Zack, and just before Margaret could hurt them, he stopped the attack with his arm turned into stone. His quirk was on. Zack Riverdale, quirk, matter absorb transform. He can absorb any type of solid matter he can touch. Then he can use that to transform his body into that type of matter. Oni-san, don't stay there. Run, screamed Zack, meanwhile trying to block Margaret attacks. Yamakumo starts running towards the exit, but before he can get there, the wall beside him breaks. Where do you think you're going, young man? It was his father, but he was looking strange. Joshua Riverdale, quirk, Minotaur. He can transform his upper body into a bull. He becomes stronger and faster but also less smart. Must be his quirk, damn it. Yami, hang on, I'll save you, screamed Zack. He manages to hit Margaret on her face and stun her for a moment. Then he proceeds into the aid of his little brother. I'll do anything to protect him. He manages to block another charge from Joshua and Yamakumo starts running to the exit. But something happened before he can escape. In a second, Margaret appears in front of Yamakumo and slash him on the face with her claws. NOOO. Zack screamed in fear. He proceeds to check on his little brother. He is alive, but the cut went directly to his right eye. He has lost it. Don't worry, you'll be okay, I promise. Zack proceeds to take his brother and run the faster he can while being persecuted by Joshua and Margaret. Zack manages to lose them and find a safe place to wait until the police arrives. In that moment, Yamakumo wakes up. Zack, what happened? Why my face hurts? I'm sorry, Yami. This is all my fault. I tried to escape with you, but I just ruined it. Back there you were amazing. You are a hero. You are a hero, my hero. You tried to save me from them, and you are protecting me. I have no doubt that when we get out of here you will be the best hero. Even better than All Might, Yamakumo said, ignoring the pain. Zack smiled. He was really proud of his little brother. Thank you, I really needed that. I think we are safe here, so now we wait. AGH. He didn't finish because 5 long claws pierced his chest. Zack knew. HOHOHA. You really thought that you could escape from us. It was Margaret. She proceeds to throw Zack's body away. Now Yami, be a good kid and stop resisting, demanded Margaret. Yamakumo didn't do anything. He just stares at Zack's body. I see you don't want to cooperate. Fine by me. Our buyers only need your bodies, so it doesn't matter if I kill both of you here, said Margaret as she prepares her final attack to Yamakumo. No, it's the only thing Yamakumo says. And before Margaret's attack land on him, a giant flare emerges from Yamakumo's body, burning Margaret's hand. Ugh, what? Margaret screams on pain while holding her burned hand. On the floor, a completely weak Zack is watching, his quirk awakened. Fire, huh? Cool. It's the last thing he thinks before passing out. You killed him, Yamakumo says darkly. The fire starts growing. What are you doing? Asks Margaret in fear. They can't get near, they'll get burned, and they can't escape, everything is burning. You killed him, Yamakumo screams. The fire starts to back away. Stop. Divided by no. Joshua and Margaret scream. You killed him. A final scream from Yamakumo is heard, and then a big fire explosion happens, and then black, just black. A few hours later, Yamakumo wakes up. He's in a white room, in a white bed. I'm in a hospital, he realizes. I see you are awake, kid, Yamakumo turned into the voice. It's a police officer or something similar. My name is Tsukachi Naomasa, and I need you to tell me what happened back there. Yamakumo starts to explain exactly what happened, and by the time he ends, half an hour passed. Thanks for the information, kid. And sorry for the rude introduction, I needed the information to confirm everything. Do you have any questions? Yes, just one. Where is my brother? Where is Zack? A few seconds of silence passed when finally, Tsukachi decided to tell him. I'm sorry, kid, he didn't make it. We barely made it to the hospital at time. But by the time the doctors tried to save him, it was too late for him. I'm really sorry. Those words fell like a bucket of cold water thrown at him. He didn't say anything for some seconds, then he just cried for minutes. He put his hands on his eyes. Wait, eyes? Why do I have both eyes? Didn't I lose one? Tsukachi answers, well, you see. Flashback. Hospital emergency room. He won't make it, doctor. There must be something we can do. I'm sorry, but even the healing quirks aren't working. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Young man, please try not to. Tried to say the doctor. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Zack repeats. Yes, I'm sorry. Don't worry. You surely tried your best. Please do me a favor. My brother cough cough, he lost his right eye. Can you cough replace it with mine? That way he will recover his sight, cough. And I can be with him forever and watch him. That were his last words. Zack was dead. Sure, that was the only answer, the doctor said. Flashback end. And that's what happened. At the end he still cared about you, even in his last seconds of life. Tsukachi said, I'll leave you, kid. I think you'll need some time alone. After Tsukachi leaves, Yamakumo is alone with his thoughts. Oni-san. After that, This day was known as the Riverdale incident. A few days later. A few days had passed and Yamakumo is back at the orphanage, the same orphanage he was before being adopted, before knowing his brother. Since he come back, he was always alone. He didn't want to be with anyone but his thoughts. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to honor his brother's dream. He will become a hero. He owes that to him. He has a part of him, and he will honor his brother and fulfill his dream. But he can't do it here. He has to get out of the orphanage. But not by him being adopted. He doesn't want to repeat the Riverdale incident. He has made his mind. That night Yamakumo Riverdale, or from now on only Yamakumo, escaped the orphanage and disappeared with only one goal: to become a hero. No matter what's the cost, he will become a hero. Origins Part 2. It's been a few weeks after the Riverdale incident and Yamakumo escaping from the orphanage. It was a cold night like all past nights. Yamakumo was now wearing a black sweater with a dark green t-shirt inside, black pants and black shoes. He is green-haired, and his left eye is also green. He also has 4 freckles on his left cheek. He now has 3 claw-shaped scars that start from his right cheek to the right side of his forehead passing through his right eye, which is now red. It's getting cold. I must find a place to stay the night and eat. Also, I need to find a way to get money. I barely have enough for a few days. I can't steal it. Heroes don't steal. Yamakumo had some money remaining from the Riverdales. They gave him some money for his 4th birthday. But it started to run out. He wonders how the money survived burning from his quirk. Right, his quirk. He doesn't know much about it. He only used it once and passed out. The only thing he knows is that his quirk is a fire-type quirk. Maybe like Endeavor's. Is Endeavor his real parent? Wait, his real family? I never thought about them. Who are them? Are they still alive? Why did they leave me? I could go back to the orphanage to search, but that means to stay there, and I don't want that. I won't jump to any conclusions. They must have a reason to leave me at the orphanage. I'll find a way to get to them and ask their reason. But right now, I have to focus on my survival. Yamakumo sits on an alley dumpster and start thinking about what he needs right now. First, I need a place to stay and eat. Then I need a way to gain some money, maybe a job, but what kind of job would hire a 4-year-old kid? I'll search some other way. Finally, I'll need a place to train my body and quirk. If I want to be a hero, I need to train. Lost in his thoughts, he didn't notice 3 persons getting near to him. Hey there, kid, are you lost? How about you give us that nice backpack you have, and we leave you alone? Said the first guy, pulling out a razor. Why should I do that? I don't fear you, answered Yamakumo. Look at that, we have a brave one. Okay, kid, you asked for this. After this, the first guy launched himself against Yamakumo and tried to cut him. Watching this, Yamakumo barely avoided the attack, resulting in him getting a small cut in his right cheek. Trying to counterattack, he activates his quirk by reflex. But he still couldn't control it very well, so the flames weren't too big. Nice quirk you have there, kid, but it seems that you can't summon big flames. You are pathetic. Yamakumo attacked him with a small fireball, but it was easily avoided. This is where the other 2 guys join in. The 3 guys started to beat Yamakumo on the floor. He was trying. Punches and kicks were shoot at him. Not so though right now, huh? Leave me alone, Yamakumo shouted, and in response his fire started to grow in an instant. Shit, the kid got mad. Grab his backpack and let's go. The last thing Yamakumo saw was the 3 goons running away with his stuff. Great, just great, was his last thoughts after passing out. How is our business going? It's fine, you can see it. No, I mean the other business. Oh, never been better. After hearing this, Yamakumo's eyes snap open. He looked at his surroundings. There were tables, chairs, and some food and drinks on the tables. Where am I? A restaurant maybe. I see you are awake. We found you at the alley of the bar. You were really beaten up. Yamakumo turned his sight to the voice, and at his side was a woman about 30 years or so, and at her back has a man around the same age. Who are you? What do you want from me? Easy there, kid. As I said, we found you at the alley beaten up, so we brought you here so you can rest and heal properly. Tell me, what's your name? Where are your parents? Are you hungry? Why should I tell you? I don't trust you. You can be a really bad person. Calm down, kid. We aren't bad. We just thought you needed help. Yamakumo frowned and turned up his hand on fire. Don't toy with me. I heard you talk about your other business. What are you gonna do with me? Sell me? Experiment on me? What? Silent is the only present after that. A few seconds later the woman speaks again. So, you heard us. If it helps to win your trust, we will tell and show you everything. But you have to come with us. Yamakumo starts thinking and answers, fine. But if you do something suspicious, I won't hesitate on burning everything down. Then he proceeds to turn down his hand. Good. First, the introductions. My name is Akane Atanagi. The man over the counter is my husband Kenji Atanagi. Now it's your turn. My name is Yamakumo. Just Yamakumo. So, he is an orphan. Akane thought with sadness. Interesting name. Well, as you can see, our business is this bar. This bar is our legal business, the one we have registered. Now, as for our other business, come with me. Darling, take care of the bar, she said, and led him into a room. It looked like a storage room. But then Akane moved something hidden, a lever, then the wall opened. It was a fake wall, and after passing through a long hallway he saw it. Welcome to the combat zone. It was a type of ring inside a metal cage. There were people fighting and many people watching and betting. This is our other business, a place where people can bet on the fights and have a good time. We have a lot of fighters. All our fights are illegal since practically everything is allowed here. The only rules are no killing and no quirks. Other than that, you can do and use anything to win. Yamakumo remained silent, and before he could ask, and before you ask, no, we won't force you in to participate. Every fighter is here by their own wills and are free to leave whenever they want. I see. Sorry for not trusting you. It's okay, kid. I understand, but I have a question. Are you an orphan? I mean, you don't have a last name, so I assumed you are one. Yes, I am, but I won't go back to the orphanage. Don't get me wrong, the orphanage isn't bad, but that doesn't mean I'll go back there. I guess you have your reasons. If you like, you can stay and live with us. We live upstairs of the bar, but it's nice. Why do you do this? You remember me of my son. He was your age when he died. A health problem. We didn't have time to say goodbye. I'm sorry, I also lost someone important to me, Yamakumo said, touching his right eye. But I'd like to live here if you are okay with that. Yes, it's fine by me. Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat? Yamakumo's stomach starts to make sounds and he blushes a little. Do you have katsudon? A big smile appears on Akane's face. Sure. A few weeks later. It's been some weeks after he met and started living with the Atanagi. On this time he has done a lot of things. He had started to be homeschooled by his guardians. Sometimes he is in his room, other times in the bar, and other times watching combats at the combat zone. Right now, he was studying in his room, but his thoughts were somewhere else. I have a permanent place to stay and eat. And now I don't have to worry about the money, at least not for now. The only thing left is to find a place to train my body in quirk. I can't pass out every time I try to use my quirk. But where I can train, maybe I can ask someone on the combat zone. Wait, the combat zone, that's perfect. I can ask to be trained to become a fighter. After that he runs to Akane. He finds her at the bar. Hey Akane-sen, can I ask you something? Sure, what is it, kid? I want to train for the combat zone. What? No, you are way too young to fight there. I'm not saying to fight right now. I want to start training to fight at a proper age. Well, if you put it like that. Are you sure? Yes. Akane sighs. Okay, if that's what you want. Come on, we have to find some trainers for you. Time skip 6 years later. It's been 6 years since that day, and now Yamakumo is 10 years old. Right now he has grown a lot, and despite his age he looks like a 13-year-old teen. His appearance remained practically the same except for some mature changes on his face, and an extra small scar in his right cheek, courtesy of the razor cut he suffered from the goons who attacked him 6 years ago. Right now, he ended his training. He is wearing a black jeans and black commando boots, a dark green short-sleeve shirt, and a black jacket. He also has some gold bracelets and a diamond necklace courtesy from Akane for his 10th birthday. He also adopted Akane's and Kanji's last name, Atanagi. His complexion is thin but muscular. He is reserved and quiet and only speaks about himself and his past with people he trusts. Right now, he only trusts Akane and Kenji. His training gave really good results. He was strong, for a 10-year-old kid, agile and fast, but the results aren't only physical, he improved his quirk too. He no longer passes out by using it and he has a high control over it. He also discovered that his quirk is more than just fire. It results that his quirk is actually a dual quirk, as a mix of pyrokinesis and telekinesis. He called it pyrotelekinesis. Yamakumo Atanagi. Quirk, pyrotelekinesis. The first part makes him able to create and control fire. He also can control any type of natural fire. He can't control fire that is created by other quirk. He also is immune to any type of fire. His second part makes him able to move any object with his mind. The bad thing is that the heavier the object, the hardest is to move it, and if he uses it for too long or to heavy objects, he gets a headache, and his nose starts to bleed. Are you ready for your debut combat? Yamakumo turns around just to see Akane. Yes, I've been training for 6 years only for this. Well then, I'll be in the commentator's table. A few moments passed and the combat is ready to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, be ready for a new combat. You can hear the people cheering. In one side we have Jin Watanabe the Boulder, and from the other, making his debut, Yamakumo Atanagi the Headhunter. Start the fight. After the signal, the Boulder charges directly to Yamakumo and tries to hit him with a right punch, but Yamakumo manages to avoid it. The Boulder continues the attack by throwing some right and left punches, but Yamakumo manages to avoid all of them. You are fast, but dodging won't defeat me. And you can't dodge forever, said the Boulder, followed by more strikes but being dodged by Yamakumo. I can't dodge forever, he's right, but luckily I have a plan. Yamakumo remains still waiting for the next strike. When the boulder throws its next blow, Yamakumo takes advantage and passes under his legs and kicks him in the back of his knee, making the boulder lose some balance and leaving his head exposed. With that and some pair of chair shots at the head, the boulder falls unconscious. And the winner on his debut, the headhunter. After the announcement, the public starts cheering for Yamakumo, and he just stays there with his hands up, signaling his victory. A few hours later, "That was nice," said Yamakumo. "You did great, kid. I'm proud," said Akane with a smile on her face. "Thanks. Well, if you excuse me, I'm going to bed. That fight took the best from me. Good night." Yamakumo heads to his room and lays on his bed. "That was really cool, but I haven't forgotten why I really trained for. I will fulfill our dream, brother. I will become a hero, and you will be proud." With those last thoughts, he fell to sleep. Origins Arc End. Vigilante Arc Part 1. New teacher and new friends. It's been a year since Yamakumo's debut in the combat zone. He has won some reputation inside the place. The name Headhunter was quite famous between fighters and public. He has a total record of 15-5 win-loses in the zone. With that, he has gained attention from someone that would be important in his future. Yamakumo was having a nice day. He woke up and trained for an hour, then he studied some stuff from his books. He got interested on hacking stuff, but he wasn't really good at it. Now he was heading back home from the grocery stuff. Akane asked him to buy some stuff for the bar. But this is where his day turned more interesting. In his way back, some goons tried to rob him. Keyword tried. Thanks to his training and skills, he got rid of them easily. "Those are some nice moves you got there, kid." Yamakumo turned around to the source of the voice, finding a guy wearing black and red clothing that looked like bulletproof clothing and had 6 small folding knives, 3 on the right side and 3 of the left side, with 2 pairs of pockets beneath them, but the most important was a mask covering his face. "Who are you? Or what are you?" asked Yamakumo, preparing to run or in the worst case to fight. "My name is Stental. I was patrolling the area when I saw what happened to you, but it looks like you had everything under control. Are you a hero?" "Kind of. I do some heroic stuff, but it's not legal." "I don't understand. How can you do heroic stuff but being illegal at the same time?" "Have you ever heard about vigilantes? We are some people who voluntarily carry out duties usually done by pro heroes without paying attention to the law. The problem is that due to regulations and quirk restriction laws, we are not legally allowed to do this stuff." "Vigilantes, huh? That's interesting. Maybe that can be a good way to become a hero, since I probably won't be able to enter a hero school, since I don't have any academy records due to me being homeschooled." Yamakumo was starting to consider becoming a vigilante, but he will need some guidance. Maybe this Stental guy can help. "Hey, Stental, right. How can someone become a vigilante?" "So, you want to become a vigilante?" "Why? My real dream is to become a hero. But I'm not stupid. Thanks to my past, I won't be able to enter to any hero school. I was homeschooled and without any registration on a school, so technically I never went to school." "I see. But before I can tell you anything, I need to learn that past of yours and your reasons to become a hero." Yamakumo proceeds to tell him about his past. From him being adopted, the Riverdale incident, when he met the Atanagi, his training in the combat zone until this day. Wow, this kid surely had a rough life. I can see that fire in his eyes. That's the same fire I see on All Might. He might be worth it to train. Those were Stental thoughts about Yamakumo. "Tell you what, kid. You just get yourself a new teacher. I will teach everything you need to know to become a vigilante." "Really? Thank you very much. I won't let you down." "Don't thank me yet. First, you will have to survive to my training. Then you can thank me. You can't go back now, and don't worry, I won't take you away from your guardians. Once your daily training is over, you can go back to your home to rest." "I understand. But first I need to deliver these groceries to Akane-san." "Fine. I'll wait you here. Hurry up, I don't have all day." After this talk and then delivering the groceries, Yamakumo's training to become a vigilante started. 1 year later. A year has passed since his encounter with Stental. A year since he started his training, or as he likes to call it, hell. His training consisted in facing Stental one-on-one until his body got exhausted, and even that sometimes Stental made him overexert his body. He trained his stealth, agility, and reflexes at the point that he can perceive everything slow, but only if he concentrates enough. He also told him about another vigilantes he knew, like Knuckleduster, Popstep, and some guy called the Brawler or something like that. He also trained his quirk. He now can move some heavier objects, and the fire aspect of his quirk is now mastered. And lastly but not less important, he learned how to use a katana. Stental gave him an old one of his. It was a little damaged and old, but it still worked. At the beginning he was a little bit reticent, but with the time he accepted it, and now he had an advanced skill with his katana and became his primary combat style. He still remembers when Stental gave him the katana. Flashback. "What? A katana? But I don't want to kill anybody. I'm not giving you this to kill. I want you to learn how to use it so you can have more than one trick. You can use that to injure non-lethally your opponents, making some cuts over here and over there, disabling arms and legs. I don't know, you have to be creative. Remember this, kid. A sword not only serves to kill, it also serves to defend. I see. You put it like that, I guess I can give it a try. Flashback end. He laughed at that memory. He had a lot of good memories with Stental. Speaking of Stental, he wanted to see him. Arriving at the place, he found Stental waiting for him. Do you wanted to see me? Yes. It's been a year since I started training, and now I can say that your training is over. You impressed me, though you would quit, especially when I gave you that katana. He laughed at the memory. Really? Well then, I should say thank you now. Without you I wouldn't know what to do. It is nothing, kid. I actually enjoyed it. But I must tell you something. I'm leaving to Hasu. What? Why? With you here I don't have any reasons to stay. I know you'll do fine. You were in some of my patrols. Heck, you even helped me with some duties. Make me proud, headhunter. Goodbye. With those final words he leaves. Yamakumo stares at the place where Stental was standing just moments ago. He cried but then composed himself and spoke. Thank you, Stental, and wherever you go, good luck. With that he started his new career, the Vigilante Headhunter. Good luck, kid. Maybe one day you will become a hero. A real one. A few months had passed, and the Vigilante Headhunter started to get known. He always appears on places where the heroes never patrol. And his known deeds were stopping robbing attempts, rape attempts, and catching some criminals, and you always found out the criminals with multiple cuts in their bodies. Today wasn't an exception. He just saved some people from a rob attempt, and in his getaway, he run in with other two vigilantes and he recognized them. One is a girl with pink hair tied in pigtails. She wears a black mask and is dressed in a devilish-themed one-piece black leotard with a heart-shaped opening in the center of the chest and a smaller one in the back, where it is located just below two bat wings. In addition to it, she also wears a reddish-pink bow tie, a pair of silver pearl earrings, black elbow-length gloves, a black super miniskirt with 3 hearts on the belt, and black knee-high boots. The guy had short brown hair and is wearing an All Might hoodie and a motorcycle protective gear along with gloves and boots. He uses a black mask to cover his mouth and a pair of tinted shades to hide his eyes. Nice job, dude. You did an awesome job, said the girl. Yes, you did, said the guy. Wait a minute, I know who you are. You are Pop Step in the Brawler. A few seconds of silence paced before the girl, now identified as Pop Step, started laughing. Ha ha ha, my name is the Crawler. Why, everyone says it wrong all the time. Sorry, but what are you doing here? Don't you used to work in Naruhodo? Pop Step stopped laughing and answered. Yes, but thanks to someone's new work we moved here. I still do some vigilante work. And he, even though he retired from being a vigilante, still does some work with me sporadically. Hey, what about we work together tonight? It'll be fun. Pop, I'm not sure about. Before the Crawler could say more, Yamakumo interrupted. Sure, I always wanted to work with other vigilantes. My name is Headhunter if you want to know. Nice, let's go Hunter. Let's go Brawler, hahaha. Really? You too? After that the 3 vigilantes patrolled for the rest of the night. Another month passed and nothing out of the normal happened. Sometimes he does some patrolling with Pop Step and the Crawler and other times alone. He sometimes also hangs out with Pop Step and the Crawlers in their civilian lives, where he learned their names, Kazuho Hinyama and Koichi Hamawari, and quickly becoming good friends. Right now, Yamakumo was in a park near the center of the town. He was thinking about everything that happened since meeting Stental and asking himself how Stental was doing. And he could still be thinking, but a sudden voice interrupted his train of thoughts. Are you okay? It was a short girl of a rather thin build, with honey brown hair, curved inwards in a mushroom-shaped bob that reaches just below her narrow shoulders. She has a long fringe that completely covers her right eye. Her eyes are wide and rather cat-like, tilted inwards with rather long lower eyelashes, and her irises are a warm brown color. Her eyes are wide and rather cat-like, tilted inwards with rather long lower eyelashes, and her irises are a warm brown color. She was wearing a white short-sleeved shirt with a pink skirt and brown boots. Yes, I'm okay. I was just thinking about a good old friend. My name is Yamakumo Adanagi, by the way. Oh, sorry, I'm Kinoko Komori, but you can call me Kinoko. And I'm going to become an idol hero. You want to become hero, huh? That's nice. If you let me ask, what is your quirk? Of course, my quirk is called Mushroom. It allows me to spread various types of fungus spores from my body. The spores will quickly grow into full-grown mushrooms once they make contact with a solid surface. The mushrooms can grow from various surfaces, including my surroundings, my own body, and even my opponent's body. But they only last for 2-3 hours. The spores spread better in a humid environment. Wow, that's a really powerful quirk. I'm a 100% sure that you will become a hero. Thank you. And what about you? What's your quirk, Yamakumo-kun? Straight to first name basis, huh? My quirk is pyrotelekinesis. It's divided in 2 parts. The first part lets me create and manipulate any kind of fire, included natural ones, but I can't control any fire that's created by other quirk. But it makes me immune to any kind of fire though. The second part lets me move any object with my mind, but the heavier the harder is to move. Wow, that incredible. Are you becoming a hero too? I want to, but I can't. You see, I am homeschooled, but I wasn't affiliated with any school, so I don't have any academy record, and I can't enter to any hero school since they require to have an academy record. I guess I'll work in my parents' business. I'm sorry. I hope you succeed on anything you do. Thanks. This might be a little bit surprising, but since we are already talking, do you want to hang out? After this talk, they spend all the morning in the park. They also went to a near coffee shop to have something to drink. By the time night arrived, Yamakumo walked Kanoko to her house and then went to his. He dressed up and was ready for another vigilante patrol, and he was doing it with Pop Step. Today was an awesome day. I have a new friend and the first one of my age too. I hope I can know her more. I guess it's good to make some friends after all. Hey, Hunter, what's taking too long? Hurry up. It was Pop Step. Well, duty calls. After that he jumped out of his window and went patrolling with Pop Step. But little did he know, new encounters were destined for him in a near future. Vigilante Arc Part 2. Villain Encounter and Dirty Job. Another year passed and some stuff had changed in Yamakumo's life. First, his vigilante alter ego has won more popularity between the community. The name Headhunter is now well known thanks to all the duties he has done. A lot of people had talked about a mysterious vigilante named Headhunter saving people and doing good deeds. Even though his popularity has incremented, his identity is still a mystery. Nobody besides other vigilantes know his identity. He always makes sure his face is covered with his face mask and makes sure no one follows him. In the bad side, Pop Step and the Crawler hadn't been really active ultimately. And they hadn't hanged out in their civilian lives either. They say that they are in some kind of investigation about something, and if they need his help, they'll contact him the sooner they can. On the good side, his relationship with Kanoko had increased. He considers her a really close friend and is mutual. Their trust had got to the point that he told her about his past, him being adopted, the Riverdale incident, and his current civilian life with the Adenagi. The only thing he didn't tell her is about his vigilante life, principally because he doesn't know how she will react about it. But he thinks about telling her someday in the future. His relationship with the Adenagi is still practically the same. He considers them the closest to a family, and they consider him something close to a son. The only thing is that the combat zona had won more popularity, and they are busier than before. Right now, he was patrolling in a neighborhood where heroes usually don't patrol. He was jumping through some buildings when he heard a female scream near some alley. He quickly runs to the place only to find a darkened figure holding a woman hostage. He was going to act, but the anonymous figures start talking. Good. I was expecting you to come, Headhunter. I have something to talk with you. I'm here to save that woman from you. Not to talk. I know. But are you sure you will be able to save her before I can do something to her? Said the figure, and then summoning a small blue flame near the woman's face. The flame wasn't strong enough to reveal the villain identity. Shit, this isn't good. I can't control his fire, and I won't be able to save her without her suffering an injury. But don't worry, I don't have any intentions to harm this woman, at least not this time. I have a proposition to you. I'll leave this person go unharmed, but you'll listen to all I have to say. What do you think? I guess I don't have other options, and if I have, I don't see any. Fine, but don't try anything funny. After this answer, the villain let the girl go, and then the girl started running away from the place. There you go. Now you'll listen to me. Right? Yes? Now hurry up. I see you are a man of word. The figure started to laugh and revealed himself. The villain was a fairly tall, pale young man of a slim, somewhat lanky build, described to be in his early 20s. He has black hair that spikes upward around his head, hanging low over his eyes, which are thin, turquoise in color, and heavily lidded. His most striking features are undoubtedly the patches of gnarled, wrinkled, purple skin that cover much of his lower face and neck, all the way down past his collarbone, below his eyes, around his torso, and on his arms and legs. He has several silver cartilage piercings in both ears, and a triple nostril piercing on the right side of his nose. He also seems to be lacking earlobes on both sides of his ears upon closer inspection. He wears a dark blue jacket with a high, ripped collar and matching pants cut off above his ankles, a pair of dark dress shoes on his feet. He also has a plain pale gray, scoop neck shirt, below which a gray belt with a circular pattern wraps around his waist, a leather satchel attached at the back. Let's talk, Headhunter. What in the world happened to him? Maybe his body can't resist his quirk. But anyways, this is horrible. I see you know me. My name is Dabi, and I need you to do some work for me. Why do you think I'll help you? I think you don't have any choice. Yamakumo Adenagi. After hearing those words, Yamakumo was shocked. How did he know his identity? Nobody knows that, not even his adoptive parents or Kanoko. What? How did he? How do I know? I've been watching you since the combat zone. You have the same name that you used there. It only took me some time investigating to find out who you are. I have to say that it's a smart tactic. It's so obvious that nobody would think about it. So, you know my identity. And what are you gonna do? Go to the police. You are a villain. Maybe I can pay a visit to that girl you talk too much with. Don't you ever try go near her. Fine. What do you need? That's more like it. You see, there's some guy who has some information that I need. Your job is to take this USB and make a copy of all his files, then proceed to erase any local copy and then give the information to me. Easy, right? Okay, questions. What is this information about? Why do you need it? And who is this guy you're talking about? First, you don't care. Second, you don't care. Lastly, the guy's name is Ibuki Morino. He's the boss of some trashy gang. The information is in his laptop. The folder name is Next Project. You can find it in his home. I need to warn you about his guard. He has some mercenary hired to protect this information. You have a week to accomplish this. I'll meet you here. You don't want to fail this. Now if you excuse me, I'll be leaving. After this, in a second, Dabi disappeared, leaving Yamakumo with one question. How am I going to do this? A day has passed, and the night has arrived. Yamakumo was in the top of a house near the objective's house. The house was actually a big mansion, probably bought with illegal money. According to Dabi's information, the laptop was somewhere in the bedrooms. The good thing is that thanks to Ibuki's corruption with some police agents, he could use his quirk inside the mansion. Even though Dabi didn't give him any map or something, the house design was similar to the Riverdale's mansion, the one he used to live in, so this shouldn't be a hard job. He quickly sneaks in through a window that was conveniently open. He landed discreetly on the floor and used his stealth to his advantage and moved without any guard, mercenary noticing. He quickly found the laptop with all the information and started the download. 20 minutes for the archives to be ready. The job was resulting easy, but he heard a sound outside the bedroom. Scared because someone might find him, he put the laptop on his backpack and proceeded to look outside the door. What a terrible mistake. As soon as he goes out the room, he is surprised by a big hammer hitting him in the side of his body. He is thrown away by the hit and smashes in the wall. Then lights turn on and some voice is heard. So, you are this intruder. It was Ibuki, and at his side was a big dude with a giant war hammer in his hands. The guy in question was big and muscular and had some type of samurai armor. Titan, kill him, then recover the laptop. Do whatever you want with him. The giant, now identified as Titan, charged towards him. Meanwhile, Ibuki just leaves. Yamakumo tried to avoid the charge, but Titan was really fast for someone his size. He tackled him through the wood wall, and both ended in a training room. I see now why Dabi wanted me to do this job. Ibuki already knew that someone is trying to get this information. Maybe I'm not the first one Dabi used. He then proceeds to feel his backpack. The computer's still good. Good thing my backpack has some extra protection. Yamakumo then proceeded to launch some fire at Titan, but the giant didn't even flinch. Titan unleashed a battle cry and with an amazing speed swinged Yamakumo with the warhammer. My attacks don't seem to work. It might be his quirk. Kahoha, do you like it? Titan is my best guard. Thanks to his quirk, he is unstoppable. It was Ibuki's voice. It was heard through a megaphone. Titan, quirk, placebo. His quirk allows him not to feel any kind of damage. It should be noted that despite its quirk, any damage can be done. He only does not feel any type of effect. This isn't good. I just need to resist enough time for the download to be ready. Titan charged again, another hammer attack. But this time Yamakumo was able to avoid it. He then proceeds to move a boxing bag with his telekinesis and launch it at Titan. Even though the attack didn't do much, it was enough to slow down Titan. Yamakumo then launched some fire to the floor beneath Titan, successfully burning it and making Titan fall to the lower floor. This isn't gonna stop him. I must find a way out of here. I'll find a way to get rid of the laptop later. Yamakumo started running to the stairs to get to the exit, but he was surprised by the appearance of two individuals. You got through Titan, but he isn't the only one I have. I present to you the Akazi brothers. It was Ibuki talking again. Jugo and Karin Akazi. Quirk, porcupine. Both brother and sister have the same quirk. It allows them to grow thorns and shoot them to any objective like a projectile. The Akazi started to shoot some thorns at him. He quickly summoned a firewall for protection and stared, running the other way. If I can't go down, I'll go up. I might find a way out on the roof. Before he could get to the stairs, from the wall beside him appeared Titan again. He tackled him again, troughed the wall, and ended up in the backyard. After hitting the ground, Yamakumo saw how Titan and the Akazi brothers reunited to fight him. Well, I'm out, but now I must find a way to defeat them. Wait, Yamakumo now paid attention to Titan. His armor was now broken and some of his burned skin can be seen. Wait, burned. His skin is burned. Maybe from my attacks. That means that he can be damaged. Maybe his quirk prevents him from feeling it, but he can still be damaged. He looked at his now unmasked face and was shocked with what he saw. His mouth is sewn. He looks like he is suffering. Does the Akazi brothers are the same? They are only toys for Ibuki. I have to put the out of their misery. After those thoughts, Yamakumo drew his katana, lit up his left arm, and prepared for the second round against Titan and the Akazi brothers with only one question. How am I going to defeat them? Vigilante Arc Part 3. Finishing the job. How am I going to defeat them? Yamakumo was facing three strong opponents. The Akazi brothers both long-range fighters, and then there was Titan. Thanks to his quirk, he doesn't feel the pain of his injuries. Okay, Yamakumo, you have 2 long-range fighters and a big guy who doesn't care about your attacks. Just another normal day at the job. Titan charged again with his hammer. Luckily, Yamakumo was able to dodge the attack. He's slower than before. Maybe his injuries are affecting him. He might not feel them, but he's getting weaker. This is when the Akazi brother decided to attack again. They started to shoot some thorns at Yamakumo, but thanks to his reflexes and sword ability, he was able to deflect the attacks with his sword. But meanwhile he was doing this, Titan managed to hit him again with his hammer, and Yamakumo was thrown a few meters, crashing to the ground. FCK, I have to get rid of one of them. If not, this will be impossible. Yamakumo thought this while coughing some blood. Sorry, Titan. This will hurt me more than you. Literally, you don't feel anything. Yamakumo got ready. He waited for Titan to attack again, and with a quick movement of his katana they both finished behind each other's backs. Titan quickly turned around, tried to charge again, but at the moment of taking the first step he fell to the ground with multiple cuts on his arms and legs courtesy of Yamakumo. Sorry, but this was the only way to put you out of the fight. You might not feel anything, but your body still suffers the side effects of your injuries. With this you won't be able to move for some time. This leaves me now with ARG. Before he could end his thoughts, Abyss Thorn pierced him through his right abdomen. He forgot about the Akazi brothers. They started to shoot more thorns, bigger thorns. Luckily there were less thorns per shot, and he managed to deflect some and dodge the rest, but it was getting harder thanks to his injury. I can't get near them. I have to lure them to me. Yamakumo started counterattacking with his fire, shooting some fireballs at them. They managed to dodge them all, and making some firewalls to protect him from some thorns, deflected others and dodged the rest. This lasted for a couple of minutes until Yamakumo fell into his knees. At this, Jugo Akazi got risky and charged toward his back with a razor in hand. A sly smile appeared in Yamakumo's face. When Jugo was close enough, he lit his back on fire and managed to hit Jugo. You fell for it. Jugo fell to the ground unconscious. Karin got mad and charged towards Yamakumo with another razor in hands. Both started clashing their respective weapons while jumping towards the rooftop of the mansion. But Yamakumo was getting slower. Luckily, he managed to avoid another slash from Karin and quickly shooting a fire blast toward her, successfully launching her into the ground unconscious. I did it. Yes, now I only have to. Before he could finish his thoughts, the floor, or maybe roof in this situation, broken from their Titan emerged. How is he able to walk? He's supposed to stay in the ground for at least an hour. Shit, I'm on the edge of the roof, and in my state I won't be able to dodge his attacks. The only choice I have is to throw him of the roof, but I have to make him charge at me. I think it's time to try that thing. Luckily, Titan decided to charge at him and both started to fall from the roof. Yamakumo quickly pushed Titan into the ground, and thanks to his weight, Titan slammed into the ground unconscious. But Yamakumo was still falling. Is now or never. He closed his eyes and prepared for the impact, which didn't happen. He opened his eyes only to see himself flying just a few centimeters to the floor. Yes, it worked. I can make myself fly with my telekinesis. But in his joy he started to feel a slight headache and his nose bleeding a little bit. He quickly deactivated his telekinesis. It looks like I can only use it for a few seconds. I have to train it, but that's for later. Time to check the laptop. He quickly pulled the laptop out of his backpack, and luckily by some miracle it was intact, just with the screen a little bit cracked but still functional. The download was ready. He quickly pulled out the USB, but before he could delete the files from the computer, 3 chains managed to grab and trap him. You are better than I thought, but that doesn't mean you'll get out of here alive. It was Ibiki, and the chains were emerging from his back. Ibiki Morino. Quirk, chain. He can summon a total of 6 metal chains from his back and can control them freely. Any last words? Ibiki said while laughing. Yes, you should have gone for the head. After saying this, Yamakumo shot a fireball from his mouth. But it wasn't directed to Ibiki but to his laptop. No, Ibiki cried out loud, changing his view towards his now destroyed laptop. Yamakumo used this to burn and break the chains and quickly shot a big fire blast towards Ibiki, managing to take him out. Easier than the rest. Now I have to get out of here. The police might be on their way here, and the house is burning. Yamakumo quickly found his way out, and by the time the fire and police department arrived he was long gone. Yamakumo was now in a near alley. He was exhausted, but he needed to deliver the USB to Dabi. But before that he needs to take care of his wounds, especially the thorn that is piercing his abdomen. I'm lucky the thorn didn't touch anything vital, but before I remove it, I need a safe place to heal. My house is too far away. I'll probably bleed out before I can make it there. The closest safe place is, I have no other choice. I have to go there. After these thoughts he went towards his destination. Kanoko was ready to sleep. Her parents weren't at home right now. They stayed at their work late. She was in her pajamas and prepared her bed. But before she could rest, she heard a knock in her window. With curiosity, she opened the curtains only to see an injured Yamakumo. Yami-kun. She quickly opened the window, letting Yamakumo in. He quickly fell into the floor exhausted. Yami-kun, what happened to you? Why are you so injured? Look, Komori-san, I need your help. I'll explain everything to you, but first I need some help, and you are the only one I can trust right now. Fine, what do you need? Also, I told you to call me Kanoko. Okay, Kanoko-san. I'll need some peroxide, a gauze, some bandages, a towel, and a needle with a thread on it. Kanoko quickly ran out her room, and as fast as she left, she came back with all the stuff. Here you go. You better explain me what happened to you. Once you are okay, of course. Don't worry, I will. Yamakumo poured some peroxide into his wound. He grunted a little bit. Okay, now I need you to help me. Once I pull out this thorn, I need you to use the towel and place it in the wound to stop the bleeding. Can you do it? Yes. Yamakumo quickly pulled out the thorn from his abdomen and screamed. Kanoko quickly covered the wound and started pressing for the bleeding to stop. A few minutes later, Yamakumo told her to stop. He then took the needle with the thread. You don't want to see this, Yamakumo said, and Kanoko turns away. He started to close the wound. He screamed and grunted in the process. He then proceeds to cover the wound with the gauze and secure it with the bandages. Okay, I'm done. I guess time for me to explain myself. Yes, please. I'm so worried right now. I need to know what's going on. Please. Okay, but don't interrupt me. Once I'm finished, you can ask me anything. He then started to tell her everything. He didn't leave anything out. All his life, vigilante and civilian. After a few minutes, he was done and the ambient was silent and awkward. So, you're a vigilante? Yes. And you planned on telling me, but you didn't know how I was going to react. Yes. And you did this job for a villain because he threatened you to hurt me if you didn't do it. Yes. Okay, she said with a big smile in her face. What? Aren't you mad or scared of me? Why should I? You did this to protect me. You fought 4 enemies and won. You're awesome. So, we are okay, right? Only if you help me with something. For you, anything. What a gentleman. Okay, I want you to help me train for the UA. I want to be as awesome as you. Sure, but before that, do you have any computer? Sure, I have my laptop here. Why? I want to know what this information is about before I deliver it. Yamakumo used Kanoko's laptop, introduced the USB and started to look. Kanoko also wanted to know, and she also started to look. The information surprised both. Wow, all of this is information about Endeavor. Real name, family, even private information. Let's see. Shit, did he really do all of that to his family? That's not nice. All of this only to win over All Might. He's crazy, right, Yami-kun? Yamakumo didn't answer. He was busy watching something that caught his attention. Taya Todoroki. He looks like Dabi if you remove all that burned skin from him. He's presumed dead, but could he be Dabi's real identity? He was handsome. You have to give him that. Yamakumo laughed. Only you can say something like that in a moment like this. Yamakumo ended reading all the files. Okay, that was something. I'll face Dabi about his identity when the time comes, thanks. I'll be leaving now. You sure you don't want to stay here? You look tired. Are you sure? What about your parents? They aren't here. And even if they see you, they love you. I'm sure they won't mind having you here. True. Well, I guess I'll take your offer then. I'm exhausted. The rest of the night passed normally. The next day, Kanoko's parents encountered him and welcomed him. Oh, hello, Yamakumo. You didn't tell us your boyfriend was coming, Kanoko. Mom, he's not my boyfriend. That's sad. Yamakumo, I would love to have you as my son-in-law. Thanks, I guess. If you excuse me, I have some things to do. Have good day. After saying goodbye to everyone, Yamakumo leaves. So polite. You do know how to pick them, Kanoko, teased Mrs. Komori. Mom, the week limit had reached and Yamakumo was ready to confront Dabi. They were on the same alley they talked last time. I see you made it. I'll be honest, I thought you wouldn't make it. But what a nice surprise for me. Now give me the information. Yamakumo didn't say anything and gave Dabi the USB with all the information. Good. Now if you excuse me, I'll be leaving. Sure, I'll be seeing you. Taya Todoroki. Dabi stopped his steps and turned at Yamakumo with a shocked expression. How did you? No, easy, I did some research. Yamakumo said, pointing at the USB. That bastard. Dabi clenched his teeth. So, what are you doing? Tell it to the police. No, I'm not stupid. I know if I tell this to the police, you'll do something to my important people. Instead, I'll make a pact with you. You and I have secret information about each other, so I thought this. You won't use or do anything about my information in any way, and I won't tell anybody about my discovery. Deal? Yamakumo offered a handshake to Dabi. I see you like to bargain. I like you. You have yourself a deal, Dabi said and proceeded to shake hands with Yamakumo. After that, both parted their own ways only to not see each other again. At least for some years. Yamakumo started training with Kanoko at the day, and in the nights he continued his duties as vigilante. Little he knew, a mysterious figure started observing him from the distance every night. Vigilante Arc End. Trigger Assault Arc Part 1. Calling for the mission. Another year has passed and now we are at night and a woman was coming out from work. She was leaving late thanks to some extra work she had to do. She had a fox quirk that gives her a fox appearance. She was calmly walking on the streets but suddenly a pair of hands grabbed her and pulled her inside an alley. The girl was grabbed against a wall. She saw at her aggressors and saw 3 thugs. One was in front of her and the other 2 were at first one's back. Okay girl, as you can see you don't have other options but to do anything we say. Now give us everything you have. Wait boss, look at her. Her face might be weird but look at that body. What about we have some fun with her before taking her stuff? Yeah, you're right, let's have some fun first. The thugs were about to do something to the girl but before that a voice was heard. It's not very nice to treat a lady like that. What? Where are you? Show yourself you cow. ARGH. In less than a second one of the thugs disappeared in the shadows. What's going on? ARG. Another one disappeared. And in a blink of an eye the third one disappeared as well. The girl was alone in the alley for a few seconds until a figure appeared from the shadows. Who are you? I'm Headhunter and don't worry you can leave. Thank you. After this the girl left to her home. Watching the girl leave, Yamakumo was proud of what he did. Good, I managed to improve this ability. Truth to be told, Yamakumo learned how to hide his presence from the enemy. The thing is that it wasn't perfect. He only can do it if there's shadows or any kind of darkness in the surroundings and if he is wearing dark clothes. He still remembers the time when he learned to do this and who he met because of that. Flashback. 3 months ago, Yamakumo was patrolling the streets in the night when he heard a scream in a nearby alley. He quickly went to check. By the time he arrived, the only thing he saw was a blonde girl kneeling before 2 dead bodies. Hey, are you okay? What happened here? They were trying to do bad things to me, so I killed them, said the girl in a casual tone. She proceeds to stand up and turn at Yamakumo. Her face was covered in blood, and she had a sadistic grin on her face. Oh, I love your scars, but you'll look even better with more. With that said, she disappeared in seconds and quickly appeared behind Yamakumo with a knife on his neck. Shit, how did you? Do you like it? I can hide my presence from my preys and kill them without them even realize it. What about this? I can show you how to do it, or at least the basics of this, and you will shut up about today. I guess I don't have any other choice then. Very well, you win this time. Good. I was worried you'll do something, so I had to kill you. It would have been a shame to kill someone as handsome as you with those sexy scars. I'm Himiko Toga, by the way. Yamakumo, and that's all you will know about me. Nice. Let's begin. After some hours, Yamakumo learned the basics on how to hide his presence. After the lesson, Toga left without leaving any track. Flashback end. Yamakumo got chills after remembering that. Well, at least I got a good thing after all. Yamakumo headed towards home to rest. He had a training session with Kanoko tomorrow morning, and he needed to be at his best or at least be well rested. The next day, we are now at the training gym of the combat zone where Yamakumo was training Kanoko. Of course, he didn't train her as hard as Stendhal trained him, but he still helped her improving some of her skills. Kanoko has good combat abilities. He helped her and now she has good close combat skills. He also helped her a little bit with her quirk. She developed some interesting techniques, but aside of that he couldn't do anything else. Right now, they were having a friendly spar, or better said, Kanoko trying to land a hit on Yamakumo. A few minutes passed and Kanoko fell into her knees. You know what? I give up. It's impossible to hit you. Hey, don't say that. You are clearly getting better every day. Then why I can't hit you? You landed some hits on me. You just don't realize it. And even if you didn't, I have 3 years of experience thanks to my vigilante work. It's obvious that you will have it hard to hit me. I guess you're right. I won't give up then. By the way, how is your work going? It's fine, I guess. Lately there's less crimes, so I don't do much. And your vigilante friends? I don't know. I haven't listened from them for a while now. Do you think they are okay? They are tough people. I'm sure they are okay. But enough talking. Let's continue your training. Yes, sir. I'm glad your guardians let us use the gym from the combat zone. It's the best place for training. At least until I get into UA. In that we agree. After a few more hours of training, both teenagers decided to spend the day together doing normal stuff. By the afternoon, Yamakumo walked Kanoko to her house, and after some teasing from Kanoko's mother, he went back to his home. He decided not to patrol tonight, but before he could reach his home, he received a message. Hello, it's been a while since last talk. I can't say much. Not in here, but we need your help. Meet us tonight at the same place we met for the first time. There will be more people in there. Please be there. P.S. P.S. Pop step. I better get ready, it will get dark soon. The night has arrived. The city was calm and silent, and Yamakumo was heading to the meeting point with a lot of questions in his head. It's been a year since last time I heard about them. The last time they were investigating something. Does this have to do with that? Either way, I'm eager to see them again. By the time he arrived, he could see them. Pop step in the crawler. He smiles because of that. He then realized there were 3 more persons in there. He quickly joined them. Hey, I received your message. It looked important. What's going on? Headhunter, I'm glad you could make it. said Popstep with a big smile on her face. Let me introduce you to everyone so we can begin. This big guy is Knuckleduster. He was our partner back there in Naruhuda. The guy in question was a towering, heavily muscled man. He has short dark hair and visibly thick eyebrows and possesses heavy stubble and a prominent scar running diagonally down his left cheek. His costume consists of a simple wraparound black mask tied over the top of his head, a tight-fitting dark shirt, jeans, boots, and a long hunter green trench coat. On his hands, he wears a pair of dark gloves topped with a pair of brass knuckles, or knuckledusters, from which he derives his name. So, he is the guy you've been talking about. He looks a little young, but I'm not complaining. If you trust him, I'll trust him too. Nice to meet you, Headhunter. Knuckleduster proceeded to shake hands with Yamakumo. Nice to meet you too, sir. They talked about you a lot when we hanged out. Okay, let's continue. Here, this guy in blue outfit is Sub-Zero. We met him and his friend when investigating. They are nice guys and really trustworthy. The guy was dressed in a familiar, blue-garbed ninja-like uniform which Yamakumo recognized. Wait, Sub-Zero? Like the character in that old game. Mortal Kombat, was it? Ah, so you know the game. Yes, I inspired my costume and name on that character since my quirk is identical to his. Cool, nice to meet you. They proceed to shake hands and Popstep then introduced the last person. This guy is Scorpion. He is Sub-Zero's partner in battle. They are both vigilantes. The guy wears a similar outfit as Sub-Zero. The only difference is that his suit is more aggressive and is yellow color. Let me guess, Mortal Kombat, and your quirk is identical to the Scorpion character of the games. Yes, nice to meet you then. After the introductions were done, the crawler started speaking. Now that everyone knows each other, let's begin with why we brought you here. I don't know if you are familiarized with the trigger drug. If you are not, let me explain. The trigger is a type of drug that gives a boost to an individual's quirk, simultaneously weakening their sense of reason. Originally, trigger was created to massively enhance the power and potency of weak quirks. However, it was soon used for criminal activities, so it was banned in many countries, including Japan. Of course, that didn't stop the criminals from putting their hands on that drug. At the beginning we thought it was some kind of illegal exportation, but then we discovered that it was, in fact, being manufactured here in Japan. So, we are going to stop these criminals? That's why you need all of us, asked Scorpion. Our plan was that Popstep, Knuckleduster and I were going to stop them, but then we discovered who were the manufacturers. It was the QHC, or Quirk Helping and Counseling. Wait, aren't those the people who help others with their quirk problems? Asked Sub-Zero. Yes, in the outside they pretend to be good people, but they use the money that the government gives to them to produce and illegally sell the trigger. The last year Popstep and I were investigating them, and we found all of this. Then why don't you send this to the government? They sure will do something about this, asked Sub-Zero. Actually, we already did that. The proof was solid enough and they believed us. The problem is that they couldn't send a team of heroes to solve the case. You see, if the heroes fail the mission, it will create a social problem and a lot of noise, so they asked us to form a team and help them with that. Yeah, sure, let's help them with this, and as a reward we all get arrested for vigilantism, said Scorpion sarcastically. Don't worry, in exchange of this favor, we will have permission to use our quirks to do this job and we won't be arrested. So, the government doesn't want to get their hands dirty and make us do this for them. If we fail, they will just put all the blame on us, and if we succeed, I'm 100% sure they won't mention us and will say that some heroes did this so that way no one becomes a vigilante. Smart, said Yamakumo. Yeah, I know that it doesn't sound nice, but this is our only chance to be heroes, at least for one night. I know that Popstep, Knuckleduster and I are in. The question is, are you in? Yes, I'm in, answered Yamakumo. Hell yeah, let's do this, answered Scorpion. So, what do we do first? Answered Sub-Zero. Thank you, but we are not ready just yet. We have a plan, but we need more people, 12 in total, 2 of which we need specifical people. But don't worry, Popstep and I will recruit them, but we still need 4 more. I need you to recruit people, explain this to them and ask them for help. Scorpion and I can bring 3 people. They are some friends of us, you can trust them, said Sub-Zero. What about you, Headhunter? Yamakumo was quiet for a second, but then he answered, I know a guy, but the question is if he will help us. He isn't exactly a good guy anymore, but his ideals might be strong enough for him to help us. Make anything you can to recruit him. I will need the names of everyone you bring so that way the government knows who will help. I need them before a week passes. We have a week to prepare. We will reunite here to talk about the plan and start the trigger assault. Until then you are all dismissed. Good luck. With those final words everyone leaves and starts the preparations for this assault. Trigger Assault Arc Part 2. Recruitment. Attention to all passengers. Next train leaving to Hasu will depart in 10 minutes in the platform 3. Thank you. That's what Yamakumo heard through the megaphone from the station. He was already in the train to Hasu. Why? You ask, since last night reunion with the other vigilantes. They concluded that they needed help for the job they would do in a week. He was currently trying to recruit the only person he knew could help, The problem is that this person is currently in Hasu, and it is very likely that he will reject the request for help. The train started moving. He proceeded to check his phone for the hour. Good. By the time the train arrives to Hasu, it will be nighttime, the perfect time to find him. He then proceeds to put on his headphones and listen to music while playing in his phone. Meanwhile, he arrives to Hasu. He then remembered the reaction of Kanoko when he told her about this job. Flashback to this morning. You are doing what? That was Kanoko. She was shocked about what Yamakumo told her. What you heard? I'm going to Hasu tonight to recruit him for help in this job. Yeah, but why are you doing this? It's very dangerous. I know, but is the right thing to do. Besides, I'm not alone. There's gonna be more people in there. I know, and I know you are strong, but that doesn't mean that I can't be worried about you. Don't be. We have the government's permission for quirk usage, and if we succeed, there will be no consequences. If you succeed, but what about you don't? You will be arrested. I'm a minor. I won't be sent to jail. Besides, you worry too much. I'll be fine, you'll see. Fine, I'll trust you, but with one condition. Shoot. When you succeed, you will take me somewhere nice as an apology for worrying me. I promise I will. Now if you excuse me, I have to prepare for my travel to Hasu. Okay, see you later then. Please come back safe. She said the last part quietly and holding her chest tightly. Yamakumo just turns to her and gives her a warm smile which makes her blush and leaves. He then arrives at home and prepares to go to Hasu. A few hours later he is ready and heads to the train station, but before he has to tell Akane that he needs to go to Hasu. Hey Akane-san, I'm heading to Hasu. See you in a few days. Don't worry, I still have some money. Okay, sure, don't forget your sweater. He then heads to the train station. Flashback end. After remembering that he concentrates on his game without knowing that two pair of eyes were watching him. Trigger assault team members. Recruited. 1. Koichi Himawari Aka the Crawler. Quirk, Slide and Glide. 2. Kazuo Hinyama Aka Pop Step. Quirk, Leap. 3. Iwawa Guro Aka Knuckleduster. Quirk, Quirkless. 4. Yamakumo Adanagi Aka Headhunter. Quirk, Pyrotelekinesis. 5. Hanzo Hasashi Aka Scorpion. Quirk, Infernal Pyrokinesis. 6. Huai Lang Aka Sub-Zero. Quirk, Cryokinesis. To be recruited. Dossiers. 7. Name, Gender, Female. She is an expert hacker. She will be needed to manage team communications, in addition to helping with security cameras and giving an outline of the plans for others. Quirk, Recruiter, the Crawler, Pop Step and Knuckleduster. 8. Name, Gender, Male. He basically comes with the past member, but his abilities and quirk can't be underrated. Quirk, Recruiter, the Crawler, Pop Step and Knuckleduster. 9. Name, Mai Shiranui Aka Katana. Gender, Female. From what Scorpion and Sub-Zero said, she is an expert in martial arts and sharp weapons. Her quirk also helps her with her ability. Quirk, Sharpening Tool. She can add sharpness to any non-living object within a limited size. She can also control those objects mentally. She usually uses it in her fans since those are her primary weapon. Recruiter, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. 10. Name, Takeo Akajiras. Gender, Male. From what Scorpion and Sub-Zero said, he is strong, but he lacks from combat ability. But he makes it up for it thanks to his powerful quirk. Quirk, Sand Control. He can control any type of sand. He can also turn his body into sand and control it. Recruiter, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. 11. Name, Sayumi Akadi, Vora. Gender, Genderless. She identifies herself as a female. From what Scorpion and Sub-Zero said, and despite her appearance, she is a really caring person. Her quirk is weird but strong. Quirk, Wasp Hive. Her body is essentially a wasp hive. She can control telepathically all the wasps that live inside her. Her quirk also makes her genderless since she is a hive, but she identifies herself as a female. She also can fly since she has wasp wing in her back. Recruiter, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. 12. Name, Gender, Male. Headhunter didn't tell us much about him besides that he is the only person he knows that could help. Quirk, Recruiter, Headhunter. We are now located in Musutafu again. To be more precise, we are in a store where an interesting scene was happening. Two persons were robbing a store. The first one was a man with a refined appearance. He has a slicked back hairdo with a curl at the front and sports a handlebar mustache along with a well-kept, medium-sized beard. His clothes are also quite extravagant, featuring a dark purple jacket with enlarged collars and coattails, a pair of loose, pinstriped pants, and 2 belts. He also wears a pair of cuffs and a woolly scarf. He also has a cane which he uses to walk. The other is a very short young woman with quite a large, round head compared to her narrow body. She has raspberry pink hair, which she wears up in 2 high pigtails, wide and thick at the top and thin at the bottom, the ends curved upwards to the sides at her waist, their edges trimmed straight. She has a single bang in the middle of her forehead, swept pointedly to her right, and very large, pointed down eyes with dark rings on the underside of each, 2 longer eyelashes to each far side, which take up most of her face. Her irises are oval-shaped, pink in color, and each has 2 circles between their small pupils and their rims, giving them a rather hypnotic look. Her outfit is quite elaborate, consisting of a big white bow at her neck, matching the thick gloves she wears, an indigo shirt with large buttons and long, upturned frilly sleeve cuffs, and a pair of white, pinstriped pants which are very poofy, making her legs seem bigger than they are. She sports several heart motifs, such as heart earrings, heart-shaped buckles on the 2 thin, golden belts around her waist, and a wide heart design over the tops of her legs. She also wears dark tights underneath her pants, over which she wears a pair of shiny high-heeled boots. Hands up everyone, this is an assault. Please put all the money in the bag, also put all the tea in the bag too. Hey, La Brava, are you recording this? Yes, gentle, you'll look so handsome. Good, this is gonna be the best one from all, at least for now. When the employees finished filling the bag, he and her partner exit the store, but the police were already in the place. Hands up, gentle criminal, you are under arrest. This also goes for your partner. I don't think so. This is not the end of my gentle apparitions. After saying this, he grabbed La Brava and with the help of his quirk he started jumping far away from the scene. The police were unable to keep up with him. Gentle criminal. Quirk, elasticity. Quirk allows him to bestow the property of elasticity to anything he touches, making it stretchable, bendable, and bouncy. This quirk can affect anything, from the ground to the air itself. Danjuro cannot cancel the effects himself. Instead, the effect wears off on its own after time has passed. By making the air elastic, it becomes a circular invisible membrane that floats in midair, which he can use as trampolines to get around quickly, as shields to deflect his opponent's range attacks or move them around the environment to his advantage. After escaping from the police, they landed on a nearby alley. La Brava, end the recording, prepare the video and publish it. Yes, gentle. They were about to leave but 3 persons stopped them. I see you haven't changed, gentle, said the big one. Clock, or should I call you Knuckleduster now? Haha, I see your humor hasn't changed either. It is nice to see you, old friend, but I have to ask, who are those that are with you? And more important, what do you want? If you promise to listen until the end, I will tell you everything. Okay, go on then. Knuckleduster then proceeded to introduce the crawler and Popstep to Gentle. Then he explained everything about the assault to QHC. I see, but why do you need us? Actually, we need specifically her, Knuckleduster said, pointing at La Brava. But since we need more people, and you are always with her, we will recruit you as well. But why me? Asked La Brava. Well, we need a hacker, and you are the only one we know, and you are a damn good one. I saw you hacking into a lot of sites, government included, and you haven't been tracked. I see. But anyway, you are vigilantes and I see that you can have this temporal permission, but what about us? We are criminals. We help you and as a reward they arrest us. Don't worry, we already talked about you with the government. Since you are a low-tier criminal, they are willing to clear your criminal record, hers as well. I guess doing some good stuff is good. Well, I'm in, but I don't know about her. Whatever you do, I'll go with you, gentle, so I guess I'm in too, answered La Brava. Good, this is the reunion point and date. We'll see you there. Okay, La Brava, prepare the cameras. This our first good video. Oh yeah, I forgot you can't record anything of this. What? Why? It's a dirty job for the government, remember? Fine, let's go, La Brava. After they leave, the trio was left standing there. Interesting character, am I right? Or am I right? Said Popstep. Trigger assault team members. Recruited. 1. Koichi Hamawari Aka the Crawler. Quirk, Slide and Glide. 2. Kazuo Hinyama Aka Popstep. Quirk, Leap. 3. Iwa Aguro Aka Knuckleduster. Quirk, Quirkless. 4. Yamakumo Adanagi Aka Headhunter. Quirk, Pyrotelekinesis. 5. Hanzo Hasashi Aka Scorpion. Quirk, Infernal Pyrokinesis. 6. Qi Lang Aka Sub-Zero. Quirk, Cryokinesis. 7. Minami Aba Aka La Brava. Quirk, Love. 8. Danjuro Tabida Aka Gentle Criminal. Quirk, Elasticity. To be recruited. Dossiers. 9. Name, Mai Shiranui Aka Katana. Gender, female. From what Scorpion and Sub-Zero said, she is an expert in martial arts and sharp weapons. Her quirk also helps her with her ability. Quirk, Sharpening Tool. She can add sharpness to any non-living object within a limited size. She can also control those objects mentally. She usually uses it in her fans since those are her primary weapon. Recruiter, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. 10. Name, Takeo Akajiras. Gender, male. From what Scorpion and Sub-Zero said, he is strong, but he lacks from combat abilities. But he makes it up for it thanks to his powerful quirk. Quirk, Sand Control. He can control any type of sand. He can also turn his body into sand and control it. Recruiter, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. 11. Name, Sayumi Akadi, Vora. Gender, genderless. She identifies herself as a female. From what Scorpion and Sub-Zero said, and despite her appearance, she is a really caring person. Her quirk is weird but strong. Quirk, Wasp Hive. Her body is essentially a wasp hive. She can control telepathically all the wasps that live inside her. Her quirk also makes her genderless since she is a hive, but she identifies herself as a female. She also can fly since she has wasp wing in her back. Recruiter, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion. 12. Name, gender, male. Headhunter didn't tell us much about him besides that he is the only person he knows that could help. Quirk, Recruiter, Headhunter. A new scene change. Now we are ubicated in a nice house where 3 persons are waiting for someone. Mai Shiranui, Takeo, and Sayumi were waiting for their friend and vigilante partners QI and Hanzo. Why are they always late? Asked Mai. Just when she finished the question, 2 guys entered the house. Oh look, they are here, said Sayumi. Good you are here. Now tell us about this job you were talking about, said Takeo. First of all, hello. Now about this job. QI started explaining everything to the trio. And that's why we need your help. Finished explaining QI. Okay, let's do it. It's the first time we would be able to be heroes, at least for one night, said Sayumi quickly. That was fast, said Hanzo with a poker face. Yes, my hive is eager to help. Okay, what about you, Takeo? Mai, asked Hanzo. I see you require my help. In that case, I'm honored to help, said Takeo with a slight bow. Sure, I mean everyone is in, so I won't be out, said Mai. Good. This is the reunion point and date. For now, let's prepare for the assault, said QI. Trigger assault team members. Recruited. 1. Koichi Hamawari Aka the Crawler. Quirk, Slide and Glide. 2. Kazuo Hinyama Aka Pop Step. Quirk, Leap. 3. Iwawa Guro Aka Knuckle Duster. Quirk, Quirkless. 4. Yamakumo Adanagi Aka Headhunter. Quirk, Pyrotelekinesis. 5. Hanzo Hasashi Aka Scorpion. Quirk, Infernal Pyrokinesis. 6. QI Lang Aka Sub-Zero. Quirk, Cryokinesis. 7. Minami Aba Aka Le Brava. Quirk, Love. 8. Denjuro Tabaita Aka Gentle Criminal. Quirk, Elasticity. 9. Mai Shiranui Aka Katana. Quirk, Sharpening Tool. 10. Takeo Aka Jiras. Quirk, Sand Control. 11. Name, Sayumi Aka D. Vora. Quirk, Wasp Hive. To be recruited. Dossiers. 12. Name, gender, male. Headhunter didn't tell us much about him besides that he is the only person he knows that could help. Quirk, Recruiter, Headhunter. Attention to all passengers, we arrived to Hasu. Yamakumo snapped out from his sleep. Looks like he fell asleep at the train. He quickly composed himself, grabbed his backpack, which contained his vigilante outfit. How did he manage to sneak in a katana is a mystery. He then got out the train and went to a safe place to change into his outfit. But he failed to see 2 figures staring at him from the station. So, that's the one you are interested in. The tall figure spoke in a tired tone. Yes, I've been watching him for a year now. The small figure spoke. He looked like a small animal. I want him. Do you realize he is a vigilante? Yes, but technically he hadn't broken any law. He never uses his quirk, not even in his vigilante work. Should I go and talk to him? No, not yet. Let him finish what he has to do. Then I will personally talk to him. But I have the sensation that we aren't the only ones that are interested in him. He then looked at the nearest rooftop and saw a muscular figure looking in the same direction where the boy went with a big smile on his face. Fame, money, and girls, those were the reasons of why the pro-hero Wildvine became a hero. He now was chasing a dangerous villain, that way he can climb at the hero's ranking. I know you are here, villain. Show yourself so I can catch you. Before he could react, 4 knives cut him in the legs. He then fell on the floor bleeding. A figure grabbed one of the knives and licked it. At this moment he couldn't move. What did you do? The figure in question is an intimidating, muscular man who walks with a distinct hunch and has a flat, somewhat triangular face without a nose and an extraordinarily long tongue tainted with numerous small papillae. He has rather long, black hair, which he wears in a messy fashion. It would drape over his face if not for his headband and mask, and small red eyes with tiny irises. He sports a dark combat suit, plated with metal armor across his body to holster his weapons. The torso is sleeveless, so he instead wraps his arms in yellow bandages, all the way from just below his shoulders to his wrists. He also wears long black wristbands and a watch on his left arm, and his knees are protected with metal pads, the costume completed by black boots with steel armor. He always dons his signature blood-red scarf and matching headband, as well as the tattered cloth he wears around his face as a mask. Clean this society from fake heroes like you. After this, the figure stabbed him in the head, killing him instantly. This society is dirty with those who only seek money and fame. Fake heroes. I shall clean this society and make it better. All the fakes has to die. That's what this society needs. And I am the instrument for that. After this speech, some claps can be heard. The man turned only to see Headhunter clapping at him. I see you now like speeches, Stendhal, or should I call you Stain, the hero killer now? You, what are you doing here, kid? Normally I wouldn't care about what are you doing, but this time I will need your help. I trained you, you don't need me anymore. As I said, in a normal situation I wouldn't ask for your help, but this isn't a normal situation, so I ask that you please listen to all I have to say. Fine, speak quick, I have work to do. Thanks. Yamakumo then explained everything about the assault to QHC to Stain. So, what do you say? Look for someone else. I won't help you, I don't care about this. Now if you excuse me, I have some cleaning to do. Come on, you are the only one I can ask for help. If you don't care, at least do it for me, please. For the old times. Stain was silent for a few seconds, but for him were minutes. He remembered that time 3 years ago when he was training Yamakumo. Even if he didn't admit it, he actually enjoyed his time with him. Fine, I will help, but I'll do it for you, and this will be the only time I help you. Understood? Yes, thank you. Here, this is the reunion place and date. I hope you keep your promise and arrive there. Yeah. Now leave. After this, Yamakumo just leave him alone. He then decided to do some patrolling that night. Trigger assault team members. Recruited. 1. Koichi Hamawari Aka the Crawler. Quirk, Slide and Glide. 2. Kazuo Hanyama Aka Pop Step. Quirk, Leap. 3. Iwawaguro Aka Knuckle Duster. Quirk, Quirkless. 4. Yamakumo Adanagi Aka Headhunter. Quirk, Pyrotelekinesis. 5. Hanzo Hasashi Aka Scorpion. Quirk, Infernal Pyrokinesis. 6. Huai Lang Aka Sub-Zero. Quirk, Cryokinesis. 7. Minami Aba Aka La Brava. Quirk, Love. 8. Denjuro Tabaita Aka Gentle Criminal. Quirk, Elasticity. 9. Mai Shiranui Aka Katana. Quirk, Sharpening Tool. 10. Takeo Aka Jiras. Quirk, Sand Control. 11. Name, Sayumi Aka D. Vora. Quirk, Wasp Hive. 12. Shizome Akaguro Aka Stain, the Hero Killer. Quirk, Bloodcurdle. A week later, Yamakumo was heading at the meeting point. Today was the day. He was prepared and expected the same from the rest. He quickly checked his phone. He saw the message he received from Kanoko. Good luck and please come back alive. You have to be there for me when I become a hero. K3. He only smiled and quickly answered. Don't worry, I will. Why? He then saved his phone and arrived at the meeting point. Everyone was there. He recognized Stain, the Crawler, Pop Step, Knuckleduster, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero. He also recognized Gentle Criminal and his partner La Brava. He arrived and was introduced to the rest of the vigilantes. The first one was a woman that looked in her early 20s. She sports a blue and black suit with dark gloves and boots. Her hair is held up in a high bun by a mini hairpin and a blue ribbon wrapped around her head. She was Katana. The other was a female figure. Her physical appearance draws on several insect motifs. Her skin takes the appearance of a yellow chitinous hide with 4 wing pincers jutting out from her back. The back of her head is adorned with black markings and her lips are naturally black. On the heels of her feet are what looks like high heel wedges. Her eyes are compound, possessing the same fractured appearance as a fly's eyes. All of her teeth are sharp and pointed, exhibiting possible carnivorous eating habits. She also wears a black top and hood, spiked gauntlets on her arms, armored ringlets on her forearms, and armored shin guards. A single scarab-shaped piece of jewelry with a green-centered gem rests around her neck. She was Devora. The last one was a dark-skinned male. Glowing blue eyes, no hair on his, and has a toned physique. His whole body seems to be attached by pieces. His outfit consisted in simply dark blue jeans and black boots, 2 fingerless gloves with metal plates in the back of his hands. He was shirtless. He was Jiras. There was also a caravan in the road. Now that we are all here, let's review the plan, said the Crawler. We are dividing into 4 groups. We are lucky this building is located outside of the city. No one will notice the attack. Now Team Infiltration will be Pop Step, Knuckleduster, and I. We will infiltrate the QHC building and search for the trigger production and destroy it. We will also destroy the recipe. Knuckleduster and Pop Step nodded. Team Rearguard will be La Brava, Devora, and Jiras. You will stay in the caravan. La Brava will hack the security system from the building. She will also handle the information. She is the most important member. Devora and Jiras will stay and defend her in case they discover her location. Jiras and Devora nodded. La Brava was a little bit nervous. Don't worry, you'll do it very well, said Gentle to calm her. Yes, she said with confidence and with a slight blush. Next, Team D1 will be Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Gentle. You will make a distraction attack from the left side of the building. This attack will distract the people inside and will give the Team Infiltration a free window. Gentle, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion nodded. Lastly, Team D2 will be Stain, Headhunter, and Katana. I'm not gonna lie, yours will be the most difficult. You will do a frontal distraction attack. This will make with this they will take most of the attention. The problem is that you will be faced by most of the security robots. Wait, robots? Asked Katana. Yes, the company has used a part of their money to make their own security. They built robots, a lot. The problem is that these robots have a self-repair system that makes them harder to defeat. Team D1 and D2 will have to face them. Team Infiltration might also face them if we are discovered. And Team Rearguard will have to face them if they manage to track La Brava. That's why I'm leaving Devora and Jiras with her. Well shit, that was Katana's reaction at this information. Is everyone ready? Asked the crawler. Everyone nodded. Good, let's go. Wait, screamed Popstep. Everyone stared at her. We need a motivational speech from the leader. Everyone now stared at the crawler. Okay, he cleared his throat. For a while we have done good deeds, without asking anything for exchange, no recognition for our actions, even hatred from some. But now is our night. We will demonstrate what we are capable of. We may not all know each other completely, but today we will trust each other. We will work as a team. Together as comrades we will win. Today we will do the right thing, like every day. But this time we will not be vigilantes. We will not be criminals. Everyone had confident smiles. They were motivated to win. Stain, Devora, Jiras, Katana, Gentle, La Brava, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Headhunter, Knuckleduster, Popstep and the Crawler. Tonight we are all heroes. After this speech everyone got into position. The assault was about to begin. Trigger Assault Arc Part 3. The battle starts. We are located in a place somewhat far from the city, where the trigger production takes place. Each team went to their position. Team D1 is in position. Team D1 consisting in Gentle, Sub-Zero and Scorpion were in the left side of the building, behind the wall that separates them from the building. They were waiting for Team D2 to launch their attack so they can put pressure elsewhere and let the infiltration team have a free way to the building. Good. Team Infiltration is in position 2. Team Infiltration consisting in the Crawler, Popstep and Knuckleduster were in the back side of the building ready for the distraction attacks to commence so they can sneak in the building. Team D2 is also ready. Team D2 consisting in Headhunter, Katana and Stain were in the frontal side of the building. They will attack from the front and divert all the attention to them. Good. La Brava, intel please, said the Crawler. Yes, said La Brava, part of rearguard team along with Jiras and Devora. She was in charge of managing communications and hacking the security system from the building. They were at a safe distance from the building but close enough so she can hack into the system. I was able to hack into their systems. No suspicions from them. I disabled their comms so they can't call the police or reinforcements. I also disabled all the security cameras except the ones pointing at Team D1 and D2. Wait, why? Asked Scorpion. Easy. If I disable all the cameras they will suspect more. But if I leave yours enabled, they will concentrate only on you. That way they will avoid checking the rest of the cameras and Team Infiltration will have it easier. Answered La Brava. I see. Sorry. Good work. It looks like everyone is ready. Team D2 begin your attack. Ordered the Crawler. Understood. Well guys, this is it. I guess it's too late to quit, said Katana. Yes, it is. Let's go, said Headhunter. He then set his arm on fire and shoot a big fireball against the frontal gate, destroying it in the process. The three then proceed to prepare their weapons. Katana sharpened her fans. Headhunter drew his katana and ignited his left arm, and Stain drew his own katana and some knives. Charge! Screamed Headhunter. With a battle cry the trio charged into the front yard. They passed through the door, debris and smoke, and saw a total of 10 robots. The robots were human-shaped. Their full body was white and had blue eyes. Their structure was thin, and some mechanical parts could be seen through their arms and legs. The robots turned at their direction. Their eyes turned red and charged against the trio. Katana stopped in her tracks and threw her fans against the robots. Meanwhile, Stain and Headhunter keep charging at the robots. When the fans reached the robots, the fans cut in half 4 of them. With her quirk, Katana controlled her fans and procs to cut into pieces those 4 robots. Then the fans returned at her hand while she was making a pose. Katana, quirk, sharpening tool. She can add sharpness to any non-living object within a limited size. She can also control those objects mentally. She usually uses it in her fans since those are her primary weapon. Headhunter and Stain arrived and destroyed the other 6. 3 each. Inside the building, the alarm started to make noise. Someone has entered without permission. Sir, the alarm is on. We detected some movement in the front yard, the security chief said to his boss. Someone dares to enter in my building. Fine, pass me the cameras. The chief then played the security video in real time on the boss's screen. I see 3 guys trying to enter my building. They must be here for the trigger. Sir, I recognize one of them. It's the hero killer, Stain. So, it is a villain attack. I don't recognize any other. Must be low-tier villains then. Send more robots to them. I won't let them take the trigger. Activate lethal force in the robots. Nobody has to know what happens here. Yes, sir. The chief started activating more robots and send them to the front yard. Front yard. Team D2. That was easy. It looks like the robots doesn't have a high resistance, said Headhunter. Watch out. At the building entrance. More robots, warned Katana. Headhunter and Stain turned at the building and they saw a total of 20 more robots marching against them. But before the trio could charge, they heard some sound behind them. They turned at the sound direction and saw the 10 robots that they destroyed completely unharmed and ready to charge at them. So, that must be the famous self-repair system of the robots that Crawler was talking about, said Headhunter. So, 30 against 3. Let's go. The trio started fighting against the robots. Security room. Security guards. Something is off. Why only 3? Either they are reckless or overconfident. But considering that Stain is with them, I don't think they are. They are planning something. Back part of the building. Team Infiltration. Crawler, La Brava here. I managed to hack into the audio system from the security office. They are starting to suspect. They are thinking that 3 persons can't do this all by themselves. I suggest that you sent Team D1 to attack now. Roger that. Do you hear it? Team D1, begin your attack. Understood, answered Scorpion. Left side of the building. Team D1, you heard the boss. Let's go. Gentle, prepare the ground. Ordered Scorpion. On my way, said Gentle. He then used his quirk on the ground. This way the trio jumped across the wall and entered in the left yard of the building. They saw a total of 5 robots. Quickly, Sub-Zero launched a blast of ice while Scorpion shoots some fire at the robots. Sub-Zero. Quirk, cryokinesis. He can create and manipulate ice at his will except for another quirk-generated ice. He also is immune at the cold and can create an ice armor and weapons with his ice and use them. Scorpion. Quirk, infernal pyrokinesis. He can create and manipulate fire at his will except for another quirk-generated fire. He is immune to the fire and heat. He can bathe his weapons with his fire without damaging them. Normally he uses it with his chain, which he controls masterfully. Security room. Security guards. Sir, movement detected at the left side of the building, said the chief. The boss then changes the view at the left building camera and saw Team D1 attacking the robots. I see. The frontal attack is a decoy. They are trying to sneak in with another team. Too bad they didn't consider our movement detection system. Send more robots at them. Same instructions. And send more at the front. Yes, sir. He then activated more robots. Left yard. Team D1. The trio saw how the 5 robots they destroyed repair themselves and stand up again. In addition, they saw a total of 30 robots. Well, this is what we signed for. Let's do this, said Sub-Zero. The trio started attacking the robots. Gentle Criminal used his cane to destroy robots. He also uses his quirk to quickly move around the battlefield. Sub-Zero and Scorpion also used it. Scorpion ignited his chain and started destroying robots. Thanks to his chain being surrounded by fire, he can control it with his quirk. Lastly, Sub-Zero created a pair of ice swords and slashed the robots. Front yard. Team D2. This team was okay. They could handle the 30 robots. The problem was the self-repair system. The robots by themselves were easy, but the self-repair system made them annoying. Shit, this isn't good. Look, more robots, said Katana while slicing 3 robots with her fans. I'm starting to hate this, said Stain while decapitating 1 robot. We destroy 1 robot, but at the same time another finishes its repairs. And now we have 20 more robots coming. I know, but we can't go back now. We need just handle enough time for the rest to complete their tasks. Back part of the building. Team Infiltration. Crawler, La Brava here. It worked. They aren't suspecting anything anymore. You are free to enter the building. I also disabled the movement detector so you can move quietly but free. Thanks. Okay team, let's go, said the Crawler. Then the trio entered the building from a section under renovation. They had to avoid some robots, but thanks to the decoy attacks, the robots quickly left to defend the front and left yard. We are in. La Brava, instructions please. Yes. According to the layout of the map, I located the central system where you can erase the trigger formula. Also, you can try and disable the robots. But I don't recommend that. It's encrypted. I'll try to decrypt the data and disable the robots. And the production system. I haven't located it yet. Try to erase the formula while I find where the production system is. I'll send the location to your phone. His phone vibrated. He checked and saw the instructions to reach the central system. I have it. Let's go team. The trio started following the directions. After a few minutes, they opened the door for the room prior to the central system, and what they saw, it shocked them. The room was gigantic. It had hundreds of thousands of robots in it, all of them hanging out of transporting lines. This must be where they saved the inactive robots, or at least one of the places of the building, said Knuckleduster. What are those? Said Popstep. The other 2 stopped and saw it where she was pointing. There are 3 robots, different from the rest. First, these ones are big, at least 2.5 meters tall. The robots looked like human skeletons made of metal and looked resistant. With some luck, we won't be facing these ones, said Popstep. Front yard. Team D2. The team, after some hard fighting, looked like they were winning. It looks like they are getting slow in their repairs. Also, some of the robots aren't standing up again, said Katana. Maybe they have a limit on their repairing, said Headhunter. He then turned his communicator on. The robots had limited reparations. Just keep destroying them and they will eventually stop repairing themselves. Yes, we noticed that too. But thanks for the info. We are almost done. When we finish, let's back up Team Infiltration, answered Gentle Criminal. Good plan. See you inside. Headhunter out. After he finished informing, a knife passed close to his face only to destroy 1 robot that was going to attack him from behind. Hey, don't let your guard down. Remember your training, scolded Stain while throwing, without looking, a knife at his back where a robot was about to attack him. Security room, security guard. The boss was mad. How are those guys managing to destroy all his robots? They are supposed to be invincible. Sir, the left attackers are about to finish all the robots. Should I send more at the area? Asked the chief. No, send one of the prototypes, said the boss. But sir, they aren't ready yet. Forget the paint work. Send one to the left yard. Yes, sir. Activating robot prototype number 1. System center room. Team infiltration. Done. The formula is erased. La Brava, have you located the production center? Static. Hello, is everything all right? Maybe it's because we're deep inside the building. Let's get out there and try again, suggested Knuckleduster. Yes, let's do that. They exited the room, and while passing the robot room, one of the big robots landed on its knees. Its eyes turned red and turned at them. Intruders detected. FCK. Well shit, we are so dead. Security room. Security guard. Sir, the prototype detected some intruders. I'll send you the images from the prototype. On the boo's screen appeared what the prototype was seeing. They could see Knuckleduster, Popstep, and the crawler with scared faces. Intruders. The attacks, both were decoys. They must be searching for the formula. Chief, make the prototype kill the intruders. Sir, the cameras. Besides the frontal and left ones, the rest aren't working. A hacker. Chief, start tracking the signal that is blocking our systems. Already did, sir. The signal comes from a near place. From a caravan, to be more exact. Send other prototype and some robots there. Send also the third prototype at the left yard. Understood. But what about the front yard? They are about to finish all the robots. After a few seconds of silence, the boss sighed. Send those too. Are you sure? I'm afraid that we don't have any other choice. Do it. Roger that, sir. Sending the prototypes. Safe zone. Team rearguard. Oh no. Jiras, Devora, prepare yourselves. They found us. Jiras and Devora stopped the game of poker that they were playing. How much we have? Asked Jiras. Minutes. Roger that. Let's go, Devora. Finally, my hive is eager for some action. La Brava here. Crawler, do you hear me? Barely. What's happening? A big robot is chasing us, and the other two were activated and they just left the place. Do you have the location of the production center? No, I can't find it. But we have problems. They found us. I'll keep trying, but you have to search for the production center too. Understood. Crawler out. Jiras, Devora. How's the situation? They are here. Don't worry, we'll protect you, said Devora. In front of the duo were about 30 robots and the prototype. Devora, take care of the little ones. I'll try to stop the big one. Okay. Jiras turned his fist into a sand mace and hit the prototype, but to his surprise it didn't do much. The prototype hit him and throw at the ground. Jiras. Quirk, sand control. He can control any type of sand. He can also turn his body into sand and control it. Devora start flying and opened her stomach, from which a horde of wasps charged at the robots, destroying them from the inside. She also destroyed other robots with some kicks and punches. Devora. Quirk, wasp hive. Her body is essentially a wasp hive. She can control telepathically all the wasps that live inside her. Her quirk also makes her genderless since she is a hive, but she identifies herself as a female. She also can fly since she has wasp wing in her back. Jiras was holding himself against the prototype while his hits aren't doing much. Thanks to his quirk, he can turn his body into sand and avoid getting hurt. He created a wall of sand and slammed the prototype against it, then he punched its face. But it didn't do much besides cracking a little the robot's right eye. This is gonna be hard. Left yard. Team D1. Team D1 finished the robots they were facing. They were about to enter the building. That was easy. Let's go. You heard what La Brava said. Team infiltration needs help, said Sub-Zero. Before they could enter, a prototype robot landed in front of them. Enemies detected. Terminate. Oh great, said Scorpion. The robot threw a punch at them which they avoided, but when the punch hit the ground it made a slight big hole in the floor. The robot quickly attacked Sub-Zero, but before he could land a hit on him, Gentle managed to use his quirk in the air between Sub-Zero and the robot and created a barrier. The punch was so hard that broke that barrier. He is strong, really strong. No one has broken my barriers before, said Gentle with a shocked expression in his face. Snap out. Sub-Zero, let's go, screamed Scorpion. Both friends did a combined attack of fire and ice, shooting some blast at the prototype. But it didn't stop it. We are so FCK'd up, said Gentle with some sarcasm. Inside the building. Team infiltration. The trio was hiding from the prototype. Said robot was strong. It was able to resist Knuckleduster punches and pop step kicks. The only thing that handles some damages are Crawler's energy blast. The Crawler. Quirk, slide and glide. His quirk allows him to slide over plane surfaces by emitting a repelling force from his hands and feet, allowing him to glide just from said surfaces. He can move in any direction, including backwards. He also can produce repulsions through his palms, shoot energy blasts, and create personal force fields. Pop step. Quirk, leap. Her quirk allows her to leap very high. She requires a solid surface to jump from, and the strength of her quirk is decreased if she leaps from a non-solid surface, such as muddy ground. Her quirk can cushion her landing after she leaps, but it won't cushion a normal fall. What do we do now? This thing is unstoppable. Half screamed, half whispered Pop Step. I don't know. We must find the production system. We lost communication with La Brava, so we can't wait for her to find the location, answered the crawler. Maybe we can try and search it in the central system. I'll distract that thing. You two go and search for it, said Knuckleduster. What? Are you sure? That thing is really strong, asked a worried Pop Step. There's no other choice, said Knuckleduster. Hey, Face, are you looking for me? Screamed at the prototype. The prototype turned at him and then charged a punch. Knuckleduster managed to stop the punch with both of his hands. He then tackled the prototype to another room. Go, find the objective. Complete the mission. Go, said Knuckleduster while resisting the hits from the prototype. Come on, we have to go, said the crawler. He then grabbed Pop Step's hand and dragged her in direction to the system center. Safe zone. Team Rearguard. Jiras and the prototype were fighting and punching each other. Jiras was getting tired because he was overusing his quirk. He managed to land some solid hits at the robot, but that wasn't enough. The robot keeps resisting the attacks. The robot grabbed Jiras in the neck and slammed him into the ground, and before he could punch him in the face, Devora clung to the robot's neck from behind and started to hit the robot's head. The robot didn't flinch. Then he grabbed her and threw her away. Devora crashed in the side of the caravan. Jiras turned on his communicator and asked for help. This is Jiras. We need help. Is someone there? Front yard. Team D2. The Team D2 finished destroying all the robots that they were facing, and they just suffer some bruises and minor injuries. We are done. Now let's help the rest. This is Jiras. We need help. Is someone there? After hearing this, Katana got worried for her friend. This is Headhunter. We hear you. What do you need? Hello? Shit. Looks like the comms are jammed, said Headhunter. He then saw Katana's expression and asked her, do you want to go? Yeah, but you will need help, said Katana. Headhunter grabbed her by the shoulder. I understand, but they are your friends and they need help. Like the crawler said, if we lose that team, we lose all the intel. Go. Thank you. After saying this, she went to help Team Rearguard. It seems like now it's just the two of us, huh? Said Headhunter. Now what? Answered Stain. Come on. Team Infiltration needs help. Both went to the door. Headhunter was about to open the door, but suddenly the door was knocked down. He barely managed to avoid the door. Are you okay? Asked Stain, meanwhile standing beside Headhunter and preparing to fight. From the now destroyed door came out two persons. They were two adults which looked familiar to Headhunter. No, that's impossible. How are you two here? Said Headhunter with a bit of fear in his voice. Do you know them? Asked Stain. Yes, and I wish I would never see them again. Both adults revealed themselves. They had burn marks on their bodies. That was the last thing that Headhunter needed to confirm his suspicions. They are the Riverdale. Victory, no matter what. Flashback 10 years ago. Margaret Riverdale POV. A few days had passed since the Riverdale incident, and now everything is ruined. All the business was destroyed. All the money is lost thanks to the banks closing all our accounts, and everything is thanks to that little bastard Yamakumo and his stupid brother. We barely managed to escape the fire. We will be in search and capture. We must do something. A few months later, we've been searching for that damn kid. We discovered that he survived and that he escaped the orphanage. Our search was fruitless. It looks like he just disappeared. I can't believe we aren't able to find him. He's just a 4-year-old bastard. I yelled in anger. He must have found somewhere to hide, replied Joshua. Well, in that case, I suggest we do the same. I'm done living in the streets. Before Joshua could answer, a voice could be heard. In that case, let me help you, Joshua. And I turned only to see a suited man looking at us. Who are you? I asked. Who am I is not important, Mrs. Riverdale. The important thing is my proposition for you. Then spit it out or I'll kill you, I said while activating my quirk. I'm a representative from the QHC Center, or Quirk Helping and Consulting Center. You might recognize us from all the help we bring to the people with troubles controlling their quirk. But that's just a cover for our real work. Tell me, have you ever heard about the trigger drug? I've heard something, yes. In that case, you must know that this substance is illegal in Japan. We run in secret the production of this drug and then we sell it at the best buyer. We have won a lot of money, but we need some security, and you are perfect for that job. Even though we have inverted in some security robots, we could use some real security. So, I'm supposed to believe in you. I understand that you suspect me, but I assure you that this is completely true, and this might be your only opportunity. Margaret, listen to him. He isn't lying, I can tell. This is our only chance to exit the streets and be safe from the police and heroes. Joshua commented. I hate when you are right. Fine, we'll work for you. But I must warn you, if you try something funny, I won't hesitate on killing you and everyone that is there, I said threateningly. Good. I assure you that you won't regret your choice. Now please come with me. After this chat we both followed this man. Flashback end. Front yard. Margaret Riverdale POV. The boss just called us. We were having a nice sleep, but someone was stupid enough to try and attack this building. We went at the place that was told, the front yard, and for our surprise there were only 2 persons in there. One was the hero killer and the other one, even though he hid his face with a face mask, there was something familiar about him. Neutral POV. Yamakumo was in shock. He couldn't believe his eyes. Somehow the Riverdale managed to survive the mansion fire. But they were here. The Riverdale, like the ones from the Riverdale incident, asked Stain, taking him out of his thoughts. Exactly those, Riverdale replied. Headhunter. I see. You don't have to face them if you don't feel able. I can entertain them, said Stain. He didn't want any weaklings to protect. That won't be necessary. I'm not scared of them anymore. I can fight. Good. Let's go. You take care of the guy. I'll take care of the woman. Yes, both. Yamakumo and Stain drew their own weapons and charged at their own target. Are you ready, Joshua? Asked Margaret. Let's go. Both activated their quirks and charged at their own targets. Joshua versus Headhunter. Joshua charged at Headhunter and prepared a headbutt. Headhunter saw that coming and shot some fire with his hands below him. With this he propelled himself above Joshua, avoiding the headbutt which cracked the floor. Headhunter blasted some fire at Joshua's back. Joshua didn't flinch. He turned at Headhunter and charged again. This time he was faster and tried to hit Headhunter with multiple punches. Headhunter started dodging the punches. After dodging some punches, the last one managed to hit him. Headhunter recoiled slightly after receiving the blow but remained standing and started shooting more fireballs at Joshua, which were destroyed by Joshua's punches. Margaret versus Stain. Margaret drew her razor claws and attacked Stain, trying to cut him. Stain himself started counterattacking with his own, both clashing their weapons. Margaret's hits were fast, even for Stain. He was having troubles blocking Margaret's attacks. Margaret prepared another attack, but with a simple rollout Stain avoided it, and he was now staring at her back. Seizing the opportunity, Stain tried to attack Margaret's back, only to meet her claws clashing his katana. We are not the same old geezers we were once. We have been training, said Margaret with a grin in her face. Margaret swinged her claws, which made Stain back down. Stain and Headhunter were back to back, prepared for another attack from their targets. Joshua, change, screamed Margaret while charging. In an unexpected move, both enemies changed targets. Stain was catched by surprise and Joshua managed to land a headbutt right in Stain's stomach, throwing him into the air, and with another headbutt launching him into a wall. For his part, Headhunter managed to barely dodge Margaret's slash, but his face mask was ripped from him, exposing his identity to his aggressors. Margaret was staring at the face mask. Then she turned at Headhunter only for sadistically smile. Safe zone. Jiras and Devora versus Prototype number 2. Fist collied. More specifically, Jiras and the Prototype were colliding fists. The Prototype had the advantage. It grabbed both of Jiras' fists and was making him back down. Before it could do more, the Prototype was hit by Devora multiple times while Devora was flying. Jiras took advantage from that and started punching the Prototype, with his hands turned in maces, in the face. After the third punch, the robot backed down with his right eye completely smashed. Jiras was about to hit again, but the Prototype grabbed him and smashed him into the ground. After this, it pointed with his fist at Devora. Then its hand turned into a weapon and started shooting at Devora. Thanks to her being in the air, she managed to dodge all the blasts until one of them exploded close to her back, burning her wings and making her fall to the floor. The Prototype got close to Devora and turned its other hand into a blade. But before he could kill her, something hit the robot. It was a fan. The object quickly went back to its owner. Katana was there. She arrived just in time. She throws her 2 fans again at the robot and started controlling them to hit it multiple times. At the same time, Jiras and Devora regrouped at her side. The fans returned at Katana. The Prototype was staring at them, but in a second it turned at the caravan where Le Bravo was and quickly blasted at it, destroying the caravan completely. NOOO. The first to act was Jiras. He started punching multiple times the Prototype's arm, followed by a lot of wasps attacking the robot's left eye. Then Katana slashed the robot's arm, the same that Jiras punched, and managed to cut it out, and finally Jiras punched it again, making the robot fall into the floor. Le Brava, screamed Jiras. I'm okay, said La Brava. She was close to the destroyed caravan with some scratches and her clothes were slightly burned. I jumped through the window before the caravan destruction. I managed to save my laptop. Keep that thing off me while I try to restore the communications. Okay, glad that you are okay. Katana, you managed to cut its arm off. How did you do it? Asked Devora. I don't know. Maybe Jiras' punches weakened its arm enough to cut it. I have a plan. The robot is blind. Jiras punch it in the stomach. Devora, it's time for you fatality. Finally, now, Jiras started attacking the Prototype in the stomach. When the robot was weakened enough, Katana proceeded to cut open the stomach. Devora, now, finish him. Devora, send her wasps into the robot's insides. The robot started to convulse. A few seconds later, the wasp spurted out from the robot's eyes and mouth, and the robot finally fell to the ground completely defeated. We did it, cheered Devora. Jiras fell to the ground tired. What now? Let me examine the robot, La Brava said. Good job, by the way. La Brava started examining the robot and pulled out a thing. What is that? Asked Katana. It's an energy cell. If you calibrate it specifically, you can turn it into a very powerful explosive. Are you? La Brava smiled. Yes. Left yard. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Gentle Criminal versus Prototype number 3. The trio was attacking the robot with multiple attacks. Sub-Zero was slashing the robot with his ice blades until one of them nailed in the robot's right arm, which started freezing. Using this, Scorpion rolled up his chain in the arm and managed to rip it from the robot. Then Gentle tackled the robot into the ground. The trio quickly regrouped and started planning. The first to speak was Gentle. I have a plan. The robot seems to be vulnerable from the inside. Scorpion, I want you to start producing fire. Don't stop until I say. I will compress it with my quirk. This way, when I deactivate my quirk, it will explode in a giant burst of fire. But I will need you to stop him while I put this in the mouth, and the rest you can guess. Sound like a plan, said Scorpion. Then he proceeded to create fire, and Gentle started compressing it. By the time the robot stands up, they were ready. Sub-Zero started to freeze the robot's lower body. Then Scorpion grabbed its left arm with his chain and pulled. The robot was separated from his lower part. Then Gentle landed on top of it and inserted the ball of fire in the robot's mouth, then jumped away from it and deactivated his quirk. Then the robot exploded in fire. Sub-Zero created an ice wall to protect the trio from the explosion. That wasn't so hard as I expected, said Scorpion. What now? Asked Gentle. Let's regroup with the Team G2. Let's go to the front yard, suggested Sub-Zero. Okay, let's go, said Scorpion. The trio headed to the front yard to regroup with the Team D2. System Center. Knuckleduster, Popstep, and the Crawler versus Prototype number 1. Knuckleduster was getting beaten up by the Prototype, but he was giving time to Crawler and Popstop so they can find the production center. Did you find it? Asked Popstep. No, but I managed to do something else. I can get control of some of the other robots. This way we can distract the Prototype and save Knuckleduster, answered the Crawler while watching at the main generator. Nice. Come on, do it already. Not yet. I have a plan to defeat that thing. Let me explain. Knuckleduster was in the ground. He couldn't continue fighting. He had a broken arm and was bleeding from the mouth and nose. The Prototype was about to kill him, but some robots started falling above him. Hey Ugly, over here, screamed the Crawler from the system center. The Prototype destroyed all the robots and followed the Crawler. It entered in the room and saw the Crawler smirking at him. Popstep now. After screaming that, Popstep kicked the Prototype to the generator. When the Prototype hit the generator, it started to electrocute. After a few seconds, the electricity went off and the Crawler blasted some energy at the Prototype, and thanks to the electrocution, the Prototype was destroyed. It's over, said the Crawler, tired. What do we do now? Asked Popstep. Let's get Knuckleduster somewhere safe. Then we can search for the production center. Then both grabbed Knuckleduster and started heading outside. Front yard. Headhunter and Stain versus Margaret and Joshua. Margaret was staring at the face mask. Then she turned at Headhunter only for sadistically smile. Well, look who it is. If isn't little Yamakumo. Time to take revenge. Revenge? What did I do to you? Thanks to you and your bastard brother, our business was destroyed. If only that stupid of Zachary didn't put his nose where he wasn't supposed to. Headhunter was furious. That monster dared to insult his brother. Don't you dare to say his name. You don't have the right to say that name, screamed Furious. Or what? What are you going to do? Taunted Margaret. Headhunter released a battle cry and charged at Margaret with his katana. He was trying to kill her. Little did he know that was Margaret's intention. Joshua appeared and blocked the slash with his horn, and the katana broke into pieces. Headhunter was shocked by this. The katana he had grown affection of was destroyed. Margaret seized the opportunity and quickly slashed Headhunter in the back with her claws. Finally, Joshua headbutted Headhunter, throwing him several meters. Margaret and Joshua got close to him. He was bleeding from his back, and before they could strike the final blow, Stain appeared from behind with a metal rod and slammed Joshua with that, managing to apart him from Headhunter. Then he kicked Margaret in the face. The kick was strong enough to send her flying away from Headhunter. Headhunter manages to stand up but was hit in the face by Stain. What did I told you about letting your feelings control you in the battle? Scolded Stain. Sorry, they used my brother's death and I got reckless. It won't happen again, said Headhunter, standing up again. We can't continue like this. We have to be creative, otherwise they will kill us. I have something that I have been practicing. I guess is the best time to try it in a real battle. I'll take care of Joshua, and this time they won't catch us off guard, said Headhunter with a confident smile on his face. Stain smiled back. This is more like it. Margaret and Joshua charged again, but this time Stain decided to go full strength and Headhunter was more carefully. Stain was easily surpassing Margaret's attempts to hurt him while she was getting madder and madder. Joshua was trying to hit Headhunter, but he was managing to dodge all the attacks. He was getting mad, so he decided to back down and throw a big boulder at Headhunter. He barely dodges it. Then Joshua did it again. He threw a big boulder at Headhunter again. This time he wasn't gonna avoid it. "Hey kid, catch this," said Stain and throw something to Headhunter. Headhunter catched the object that Stain throwed at him. It was a katana. He drew it and quickly slashed the boulder. Surprisingly, the boulder was divided in half. Joshua quickly charged at Headhunter and tried to headbutt him, but Headhunter shot some fire with his hands below him. With this he propelled himself above Joshua, avoiding the headbutt. Joshua turned at his back thinking that Headhunter was going to land at his back, but there was no one. "Up here, you idiot." Joshua looked above him and saw Headhunter in the air. He was staying in the air with his telekinesis, in addition to having fire in various parts of his body to propel himself into the air and fly. Joshua was shocked and Headhunter used this to punch him in the face. Thanks to propel himself, the punch was strong enough to send Joshua flying. Stain also managed to send Margaret flying. "So, you can fly now?" "Yes. Initially I tried to fly using only my telekinesis, but it was too much for my body to handle, so I used my telekinesis only to suspend myself in the air, then use my fire to propel myself and move in the air, like a jetpack." "Nice. By the way, what is this katana made of?" "It's made of a rare metal. If you swing this katana with enough strength, you will be able to cut through anything, but at the same time, if you control your strength, you will be able to only hurt others." "Cool." At this moment the Riverdale were back, both with pissed expressions. "Enough. Joshua, it's time to use it." After saying this, both pulled out a syringe each. "I've been wanting to try this." After this, both injected the substance in their bodies and unleashed a painful scream. "Is that the trigger?" asked Stain. "It looks like." "Look, their bodies are changing." Joshua's body started to grow bigger. His minotaur form was getting more muscular, and his horns grew as well. Margaret was growing as well, but only taller. Her body was getting thinner to the point where her bones could be seen through her skin. Her claws got larger and sharper. Both unleashed a brutal scream and charged at Headhunter and Stain. Margaret slashed Stain, but he barely avoided the slash. Joshua tried headbutting Headhunter, but he dodges it by flying with his quirk, and Joshua managed to only hit the floor. But this time the impact was so strong that the floor broke and Joshua and Margaret fell inside the hole and fell on a catwalk. Headhunter and Stain were surprised with what they say below ground. "Is that," asked Stain, "the production center?" "This is why La Brava couldn't find it. It was underground, and probably wasn't in any map," said Headhunter. "Anyway, we have to defeat them. Then we can destroy it," said Stain. Both decided to land on the same catwalk where the Riverdale were. Margaret charged at them, but before she could slash them, a chain engulfed in flames trapped her arm. "It looks like you need help." It was Team D1. Scorpion trapped Margaret. "You handle the big guy while we take care of her," said Scorpion. "Look like a plan." "Thanks, and it's better to kill them. They are suffering from the trigger effects." "No problem. Now, for you lady. Get over here," screamed while pulling Margaret up. Team D1 versus triggered Margaret. Margaret was still trapped in, but she charged at Scorpion anyways. Luckily a barrier stopped her and made her back away. It was Gentle. He then trapped her inside more barriers surrounding her. Scorpion retrieved his chain. Then Sub-Zero started freezing inside the barriers, managing to freeze Margaret. Finally Gentle deactivated his quirk and Scorpion attacked with his chain, breaking the ice and Margaret into pieces. Scorpion, Sub-Zero and Gentle win. "Fatality," said Scorpion. Stain and Headhunter versus triggered Joshua. Joshua charged at Headhunter. He used his telekinesis to stop him and with the katana cut Joshua's horns. With this, Stain took advantage of the situation and stabbed Joshua in the shoulder with another sword. Joshua backed away and screamed in pain. With this, Headhunter unleashed a continuous fire blast, like a flamethrower, directly to Joshua, making him back away more until finding the edge of the catwalk. Joshua lost his equilibrium and fell down from the catwalk several meters to his death. "I'll see you in hell," said Stain. "And I hope not seeing you ever again," said Headhunter jokingly. Headhunter and Stain exited the hole only to find Team D1. "So, I guess we are done fighting. Just destroy this and we are done," said Scorpion. "Yes, we are." The five turned to see Crawler and Popstep carrying an unconscious Knuckleduster and putting HM in the ground. Then the Crawler got closer to the rest. "So, this is where the production center was. Underground?" "Yes." "Now, how do we destroy it?" asked Sub-Zero. Everyone turned at the Crawler only to see him with a poker face. "You didn't think about it, right?" asked Headhunter with a blank face. "He didn't, but I have the solution." Everyone turned to see Team Rearguard plus Katana arriving to the place. "Here, take this," said La Brava while throwing at Headhunter one of the energy cells from the prototype they fought. What is this? It's an energy cell, but I calibrated it to become a powerful explosive. How much power are we talking? Asked Gentle. Enough to blow everything in there, and maybe tear down the building. I see. So, how do we light it? Asked Scorpion. Just blast it with some fire and it will explode, but I recommend staying away from here. So, Scorpion, are you up for some target shooting? Asked Headhunter. Let's do it. After everyone got far enough, the building, Headhunter threw the energy cell at the production center. Then he and Scorpion blasted some fire at it. With this, a giant explosion occurred, and the building started to fall, and after a few minutes everything was destroyed. A few hours later, the police and paramedics arrived. They stared to take care of the wounds of the team. After a few more minutes, the team was cured and Knuckleduster was awake. Then a police officer with a dog had approached them. Hello, my name is Kenji Tsurugame. I'm the police chief, and I'm here not to only congratulate but also thank you for the service you lend us. Woof, woof, everyone thought. And we will respect our deal. All of you been granted with a temporal license to operate as heroes, but only for tonight. Also, Gentle and La Brava, your criminal record is clean. Thank you, officer, said La Brava. And for you, Stain, we obviously can clean all your records, so we will only clean the low crimes you committed. And we will give you a week of grace so you can rest. Whatever, said Stain. Once again, thank you. You can leave now, said Kenji, and then he leaves. Well, I'm out. Don't you ever try to recruit me again or I'll kill you, said Stain while leaving. Wait, said Headhunter. Stain turned to see him. Here you go. Thanks for lending it, said Headhunter while handing Stain his katana back. Stain stared at the katana for a second only to turn away and start walking. Keep it. I have more of those. And you will need a new one. After this he disappeared. I guess this is the goodbye. Come on, La Brava. Let's get out of here, said Gentle. He and La Brava waved for goodbyes and leave. I guess we have to go too, said Scorpion. All the MK characters group waved and started leaving except for Katana. She approached Headhunter and kissed him in the cheek. It was fun to fight at your side. See you. After this she left, leaving a blushing Headhunter. Yeah, he got himself together and waved at them. What can I say, said the crawler. He then grabbed some dirt that was on his clothes and then said what a night. After this the rest of the team headed their own way. Trigger Assault Arc Part 5. Fateful Meeting. Before we start with the story, I know that you don't read the author notes. It's okay, I understand. You want to read a story, not to talk with a random guy who writes fanfics. But this time I'm begging you to read the author notes, since I have an important question to ask you. The answers will have an important impact in this story, so once again I'm begging you to read the author notes and answer the question. Nothing more to say, let's begin with the story. A few weeks had passed since the QHC was discovered selling the illegal substance called Trigger. A week since the heroes put an end to that. The heroes involved in this assault are still unknown, but we are at the wait so we can congratulate them. Now into other things. Anew. Yamakumo stopped paying attention to the TV. The government did what they told. Everyone involved in the assault to QHC was hidden and no one was mentioned. They also let them go without any warning. He then turned his attention at the person beside him. Kanoko was watching the TV. Yes, Kanoko. Yamakumo was right now at Kanoko's house. Her parents invited him to have a dinner with them. Right now they were watching the TV, but Kanoko's mother started talking. I'm so glad the heroes put a stop to their actions. To think I almost sent my daughter there. At least the heroes saved the day. Yes, the heroes did good, Kanoko said while glancing at Yamakumo, gesture that was unnoticed by her parents. Yes, they did. Well, if you excuse me, I have to go. Thanks for the dinner, said Yamakumo. He then prepared to leave but cringed a little bit, thanks to his scars in his back. Are you all right, Yamakumo? Asked Kanoko's father. Just a little accident when helping my parents, but don't worry, it's healed now. Well, I'll be leaving. Yamakumo then proceeds to leave at the nearby alley and change into his vigilante outfit already patched up and started patrolling. It was a calm and quiet night, no crimes nearby. Now Yamakumo was standing at the top of a building staring at the city, but a voice interrupted him. I see, you are this famous headhunter vigilante that I've been hearing about lately. Yamakumo quickly turned around and saw a very large man with an equally muscular and well-defined physique, his design resembling a typical Western comic book superhero. He has chiseled features on his face with a strong jawline and pronounced cheekbones, and bushy eyebrows. He has short blonde hair, swept backwards, with two distinct tufts that stick up above his head, leaning slightly to each side. The most notorious feature was his big smile on his face. Yamakumo recognized him at the instant. All Might. He was shocked. What is All Might doing here? But most importantly, All Might knows him. What are you doing in here? Didn't you have your agency in the United States? Yes, I do, and the answer for your other question is the same reason that I wanted to talk with you, but please, let's go somewhere else, somewhere more private, and don't worry, I won't do anything to you. After this, All Might landed in a nearby alley. All Might wants to talk with me. Okay, Yamakumo breath. After calming down, he followed All Might into the alley. Okay, here we are, All Might, sir. What do you wanted to talk with me? Please, young one, just All Might is fine. And for what I want to talk with you, I wanted to ask you, what do you know about my quirk? Well, a lot of people call it just superpower since your quirk is a mystery. But wait, if you are asking me this, it must have some kind of secret, am I right? He is smart, and based on the information Tsukachi gave me, he is the perfect choice. All Might was surprised by the intelligence this kid has. Yes, you are right, but before I can tell you, I need you to not tell this to anyone. This also includes what are you going to witness after this. All Might started to smoke, and then he deflated, shocking Yamakumo with his new appearance. What the FCK? What happened to you? Are you an imposter? Or this has to do with the secret of your quirk? Asked Yamakumo, calmed, thanks to him being a pragmatic guy. He expected All Might to answer to all his questions. I can assure you that I am All Might. Now, for my appearance. While it helps me to transform my quirk as something else, my actual appearance is thanks to a fight against a very dangerous criminal 4 years ago. You don't have to worry about him. I was severely injured. I lost half of my respiratory organs and all of my stomach, and thanks to that my hero activity is reduced to 3 hours per day, All Might said. He then showed Yamakumo his nasty scar. Shit, that must have hurt. At least that villain was stopped. Wait, 4 years ago. Are you talking about Toxic Chainsaw? No, I asked for the fight to not be public, and with that my actual appearance is also a secret. Okay, that explains your appearance, but what about your quirk? My quirk is called One for All, and I not natural from me. It was handed to me like a torch by my master, and she as well obtained the One for All from another person. That is how One for All works. So, your quirk not only gives you an impressive speed, strength, and power, it also can be passed from a person to another. Yes, you got it all. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to become my successor. Yamakumo was shocked. All Might wanted him to be his successor. This was a lot to think, but he needed to ask. Why? Why me? I've been watching you for a while. I also know you participate in the QHC assault. And before you ask, I have a police friend that shared the information of this with me. You have the spirit of a real hero. Even if you are a vigilante, you are the word hero in person. I don't have too much time left, that's why I ask you. Yamakumo Adanagi, do you want to become my successor? I don't know. Even if I accept, I'm a vigilante, I can't go to a hero school, and with that I can't become a hero. That won't be a problem. You see, I'm going to teach at UA. I can recommend you there, and with my recommendation you have a guaranteed place at UA. Yamakumo remained silent. Is this the right choice? Should he accept? He got a feeling he just hoped he was doing the right thing. I'm honored, but I have to reject your proposition. I have a feeling that I'm not the one that should have the One for All. Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-life opportunity for you. Tell you what, I have a proposition for you. We have 12 months until UAS entrance exam. If you can't find someone more worthy than me a month before the exam, I will accept your proposition. I see, you have the physical condition to resist the transfer. Fine, I accept your proposition, but I have to ask you to please don't tell this to anyone. My lips are sealed. You don't have to worry. After this conversation, All Might told him his real name, Toshinori Yagi, give him his phone in case he changed his mind, and then turn in his muscular form and leave. Yamakumo decided to go back home. He has had enough emotions for today and maybe for a year. 7 months later. 7 months had passed since his conversation with All Might, and he haven't heard anything from him since. Maybe he found someone worthy, or maybe he's waiting for the time limit so he can give the One for All to him. A 15-year-old Yamakumo was now heading home in the train. He spent the day with Kanoko, training and hanging out with. The train arrived at the station near his home, and he started heading home, but midway he noticed a small man with mouse-like features following him. He started to accelerate his steps, but the animal guy did the same. He then decided to enter an alley and hide his presence. The guy entered the alley and Yamakumo appeared beside him, katana in hand, pointing at the man's neck. Who are you, and why follow me? You have some nice skills. Yamakumo Adanagi. What? How did you know me? I've been observing you for a while now. Yeah, you are not the first person to tell me this. I'm aware of your encounter with All Might, but you don't have to worry, I know all about him and his secrets. Okay, go to the point, Yamakumo said, putting his katana closer to the guy's neck. My name is Nezu and I am the principal of the UA. What about you save your weapon and we have a nice talk? After hearing this, Yamakumo saved his katana and walked in front of the man. What do you want? As I said, I've been watching you for 2 years now. I know your involvement in the QHC assault. But to keep it short, I want you at UA, said Nezu, shocking Yamakumo in the process. Am I hearing right? Or did you just say that you wanted me at UA? You heard right, Yamakumo-kun, I want you at UA. But why? I am a vigilante, I do illegal stuff, I can't be a hero. Yes, you are, but please can you repeat the law about the vigilantes? Okay, I don't see where we are going, but okay. You are accused from vigilantism by using your quirk for heroics without a license. Again, please. You are accused from vigilantism by using your quirk for heroics without a license. Wait, using a quirk without a license, and I haven't used my quirk in my vigilante work beside the QHC, but I had a special permission from the government. So, that means that you hadn't broke any laws by being a vigilante, interrupted Nezu. That means that you are cleared to enter to the UA. But I never went to any school. I don't have any academic record to follow. True, but remember who I am. With a simple special permission from my part, you can enter in my school if you pass the entrance exam, of course. Now, tell me, do you want to assist at the UA and become a hero? Yamakumo couldn't believe it. He was offered another opportunity to accomplish his and his brother's dream. For a second, he could see his brother smiling at him from the distance. This was enough to convince him. Yamakumo smiled widely and said, "Yes, I would love to attend to UA and become a hero." "It is settled then. I'll be waiting for you," said Nezu. Then he started to leave. "Wait, can I make a request?" "Sure, what is it?" asked Nezu. "I know that the entrance exam is divided in theoretical and practical. Can I bring my katana for the practical? And if I pass, can I use it in my hero costume? If you don't attack any other examinee, sure, I'll give you a special permission to bring a weapon inside the school. Thank you." After this exchange, Yamakumo headed home with a big smile and some tears in his face. "Brother, I made it. I will become a hero. For both of us." Trigger Assault Arc End. Entrance exam. 4 months had passed, and tomorrow was the entrance exam from the UA, and Yamakumo was helping Kanoko with her training. Both were having a friendly spar. Kanoko charged at Yamakumo and started throwing punches and kicks. Yamakumo dodged all her attacks easily. Even so, she managed to surprise him and punch him in the face. Upon receiving the blow, Yamakumo smirked and proceeded to counterattack with his own attacks. Of course, he was holding back a bit. Even so, Kanoko managed to push him enough. An hour later, Yamakumo decided to end the training. "That's enough for today." It was sooner than other days. "Yes, but remember that tomorrow is the UAS entrance exam. You have to be well rested and prepared." "True. Well, if that was all for today, I better get ready for tomorrow. I'm so excited." "I'm sure you are. Aren't you gonna wish me luck?" "Why? You don't need it. With you level, I'm sure you will easily pass. But if you want, then good luck." "Thank you. Now I'll be going." After this, she got close to Yamakumo and stared at him for a few seconds. She gave him a quick peck on the cheek. "Thanks for all the help." "Well, goodbye," she said before running away with a giant blush in her face. Yamakumo just stared at where Kanoko was. Then a sly smile appeared in his face. "I'm so lucky. Well, I have to go as well. I also have to prepare for the exam. I feel a little bad for not telling her that I will take the exam as well. But I want to surprise her for when we both pass the exam." He then leave as well. A day later, UAS front gate. Yamakumo arrived at UAS front gate. He was prepared and was completely confident about his opportunities. Even with the written part, he loves to learn new stuff, and in his free time he always read different books about different topics. He looked around and saw all the applicants. Some of them looked like they were here only to have fun. Others seemed like they were taking this seriously. But then something caught his attention. It was a girl. She was standing there not moving. She looked nervous. Then Yamakumo decided to give her a little help. When he reached her, he then noticed her looks. The girl in question had messy green hair. Her face was quite plain. Her eyes are large and somewhat circular. Their iris is the same green color as her hair and has a set of 4 symmetrical freckles in diamond formations, one on each cheek. She kind of reminded to himself. She was dressed in a school uniform. Izumi POV. Izumi Midoriya was staring at the UAS front gate. She was really nervous but at the same time excited. If someone told her a few years ago that she was going to attend at UA, she would not have believed it. Since she was diagnosed quirkless, her life was turned into a hell. She wanted to become a hero, but no one believed in her and she was started to get bullied at the school. But that changed 10 months ago, when she met All Might and he chose her to become his successor. For 10 months she trained to become a good vessel for the One for All. She trained so hard and finally All Might passed One for All into her a few hours ago, so she didn't have time to try it. "I can't believe I'm here at UA, where some of the top hero graduated. Best Genus, the 8 times Beast Genus Award winner, Endeavor the hero with the record of most solved cases, and, of course, All Might the #1 hero of Japan. For great heroes, graduation from UA High School is certainly a requirement." At this moment she was daydreaming, but then she was taken out of her thoughts by some sound of fingers snapping. When she returned at the real world, she saw a guy snapping his fingers at her. The guy in question was taller than her, had dark green hair, and his left eye was the same color of his hair. He had a mature and serious face. But then she saw his right eye. It was blood red, and the most striking feature were his scars. He had 3 on his right eye and 1 in his right cheek. He was dressed in some black and dark green casual clothes. Even so, in her mind the guy was extremely handsome. She blushed furiously. "Are you okay?" asked the guy. I. She tried to say something, but she was very nervous. This was the first time a guy talked to her without bullying her. "Look, I understand that you are nervous. Everyone is. But you better enter. The exam will start with or without you." "Why, yes. Thank you." The guy turned around and started entering the building, but not without waving at her and speak. "Don't thank me yet. Thank me when we both pass the exam." Then he disappeared after entering the building. A guy spoke to me, and he didn't bully me. But he is right, I better go inside. This is my first step to become a hero, she said with confidence, only to trip with herself. But before hitting the floor, she stopped. Are you okay? A voice said. She turned at the voice to see a brown-haired girl. She is fair-skinned with a perpetual blush on her cheeks. Her eyes are large and round. Their iris is a warm auburn brown, with rather thick upper eyelashes, 2 longer and more prominent ones protruding outwards on either side and fewer but more individually pronounced lower eyelashes. She was the same height as her. Her hair is bobbed and curved inwards at the ends, 2 longer clumps taking the same shape on either side of her face, and short bangs that reach roughly a quarter of the way down her forehead. Sorry for using my quirk without your permission, but it would have been bad luck if you fell, right? The girl said with a smile in her face. You are also nervous, right? Let's do our best, the nice girl said, then entered the building. I talked with a girl. She blushed again. After this, Izumi also entered the building. Yamakumo POV. Yamakumo entered the building where the exam would take place, but before he could enter the room he was stopped by a person. Wait, you can't bring any weapons in here unless you have a permission, he said, pointing at Yamakumo's katana which was strapped in his back. Right, I forgot. Here, Yamakumo said, handing him the permission that the principal gave him. I see, looks legit. You can enter. Sorry for the problems caused. Thank you. After entering the room, Yamakumo looked at everyone. There was a lot of people. He decided to sit in the farthest seat possible. This way it won't attract attention. He also saw Kanoko at the distance, but he decided to leave her to concentrate. A few minutes later, all the seats were taken. He also saw that the green-haired girl from the entrance was there. The written test was easy for him. Despite never having gone to a school, Yamakumo was very intelligent thanks to the different books he had. The time limit for the written test was over. Then a person entered the room and seated at the front of everyone. Welcome to my live performance of today, the guy screamed. The guy in question was a blonde man which Yamakumo recognized. It's President Mike. I guess a hero school will have heroes as teachers. Everybody, say hey. Nobody said anything. Looks like we have a tough crowd this year. Now I will briefly explain what the practical test consists of. Are you ready? More silence. Izumi POV. Incredible, it's the voice hero, President Mike. I hear him every week on the radio. This is incredible. All the teachers at UA are pro heroes. She was muttering again. Shut up. Right, Kachin was right beside her. These are the important points of the entrance exam. For 10 minutes we will carry out an exercise in a simulated urban area. You can bring whatever you want with you. After this presentation, each of you will go to the area for the exercise that has been assigned to you. After this explanation, the different areas were showed in the screen. Will they let classmates from the same school collaborate with each other? Asked Bakugo to himself. Although the registration numbers are consecutive, sure the assigned area will be different, right? Izumi replied. Then I won't be able to crush you, said Bakugo. 3 types of potential enemies will be in large numbers in the exercise area. Each one has a set score depending on the degree of difficulty. The 3 kinds of enemies were shown in the screen, 1, 2, and 3 points. Each one of you must immobilize potential enemies using your quirks. Your goal will be to earn the most points. Of course, anti-heroic behaviors, such as attacking other people, are prohibited. President Mike finished. Excuse me, I have a question, said a tall guy with short dark blue hair. On the sheet he mentions 4 types of villains. If it is a mistake, it would be a shame for the UA. We applicants want teaching to be heroes who will become role models, and that is why we are sitting in this place, he said in a high tone. Also, you, the girl with the curly hair, he said, pointing at Izumi. Me, you've been muttering for a long time. That is very distracting. If you only plan to come to play, I ask you to get out of here immediately. Sorry, Yamakumo POV. That guy needs to chill out. Can't he see that she is nervous? I would answer him, but I don't want to call any attention. Sorry girl, you are at your own in this one. Okay, President Mike said, breaking the tension. Applicant number 7111. Thank you for your good observation. The 4th type of villain scores 0 points. Try to avoid it at all costs. I see, thank you very much, said the guy with a bow. That's all for me. What the hero Napoleon Bonaparte ever said. A true hero is one who overcomes all the misfortunes of life. Go beyond, plus ultra. After this, everyone went to their respective assigned areas. Battle Center B. Izumi POV. It's so big, said Izumi in awe. It's like a city. In an area A, how many villains can there be? Said another applicant. Why does everyone seem so confident? Aren't they nervous? She quickly turned and saw the girl from the entrance. It's her. We are in the same area. Right, I have to thank her for what happened. She started to head towards the girl but was stopped by a hand on her shoulder. She turned to see the same guy who called her in the writing test. That girl seems to be concentrating. What are you trying to do? Are you taking the test to obstruct others? The scary guy scolded her. Everyone that was watching this interaction started muttering with each other. It's the girl who was fooling at the entrance. They scold her and she cowers in fear. At least we have one less rival. They seem to feel lucky about it. That's enough, don't you think? Said a voice. Everyone turned at the source of the voice. It was Yamakumo. It's the guy from the gate. We are in the same area as well. Yamakumo POV. Yamakumo was ready for the exam, but then he overheard the glasses guy scolding the green-haired girl. That was enough, he must interfere. That's enough, don't you think? Everyone turned at him. Let me ask you something. Do you know this girl? He asked at the glasses guy. No, but he was interrupted by Yamakumo. Then why are you making assumptions about this girl? Maybe she knows the other girl and wanted to wish her luck. Yes, but look at her. Can't you see she is nervous? Put yourself in her place. You are nervous and then a random guy starts scolding at you for just a random assumption. After a few seconds of silence, the guy started to talk again, but he directed to Izumi. I must apologize for my behavior. I guess I was too rude with you. The thing I wanted to say is if you don't know that girl, I suggest you do not interfere with her concentration, he said with some weird hand movement. He then separated and started focusing on the exam. That also goes for the rest of you, Yamakumo said, glaring at the rest of the applicants which just turned away and focused on the exam. Gee, thank you, said the girl to him. Don't mention it. Good luck in the exam, he said, and then separated from her to focus on the exam. Izumi was staring at him with a small blush in her face, but then a loud scream was heard. Start. Present Mike screamed. Then the gates of the city opened. Everyone was confused and were staring at the city, everyone except for one person. Yamakumo quickly drew his katana and charged inside the city. He found 3 one-point robots. He quickly slashed through them, destroying the 3 robots with one slash. Everyone was staring at him and started muttering. What is he doing? There were no indications to start. He's gonna be disqualified. What are you waiting for? Present Mike screamed again. There's no countdowns in a real battle. That guy understands it. Come on, or he will get all the points to himself. Izumi POV. Ew. Everyone rushed at the city, leaving Izumi behind. I'm already behind, she thought, and quickly rushed inside the city. She then remembered the conversation with All Might of how to activate One for All. Small flashback. Whenever you want to activate One for All, just remember these words. Clench your butt cheeks and scream from the deep of your heart. Flashback end. Izumi was running through the city searching for robots when a wall was destroyed in front of her. Then a 1 point emerged from the wall. Target inside. Eliminate. A 1 point. Here it comes. Why I can't move. Why? She was about to get hit, but a laser destroyed the robot. Merci, said a French-looking guy. We do an excellent team, but I doubt we'll see each other again. Adieu. 6 minutes remaining. Screamed Present Mike. 6 minutes. This isn't good. She started panicking. She then turned at the nice girl from the entrance. 28 points, she said. Then Izumi turned at the scary guy with glasses. 45 points, he said. How did they manage to get so many points? This is bad. The enemies are decreasing. Observation room. A limited time and a vast area. Their abilities will be revealed, Nezu said while looking at the cameras. Be aware of the situation without any delay. The camera focused on a guy with multiple arms. Act immediately, despite a delay. The camera now focused on the guy with glasses. Stay calm no matter the situation. The camera now focused on the French-looking guy. And, of course, pure combat skills. The camera focused on Bakugo. The basic capacities to protect the streets are evaluated by points. We have an interesting batch this year, asked a teacher. No, not yet, but let's find out, said Nezu while pressing a red button. Yamakumo POV. Yamakumo slashed another 3 points robot with his katana. He was doing very well in this exam. With this one I have a total of 82 points, and I didn't even use my fire or telekinesis, he thought, but then the floor started shaking and a giant robot appeared in the center of the city, the 0 points robot. That's a big mother-seeker. I should get out of here, but before he could start running, he saw the brown-haired girl trapped under some debris from the building. He was about to go and help her, but then he spotted the green-haired girl jumping towards the 0 points, and with just one hit, the robot was completely destroyed. That strength ... It's similar to All Might's. Could she be? Before he could end his train of thought, he saw that the girl started falling. He quickly got closer to the brown-haired girl and helped get out of the debris. You can make things float, right? Can you use it in yourself? Why, yes, answered the girl. Use it. I'll throw you at her so you can stop her fall. Don't worry, I'll get you to the ground safely. Okay. The girl used her quirk in herself. Then Yamakumo used his telekinesis to move her. She is weightless. This is going to be easier. He then proceeded to launch the girl towards the other. When both were close, the brown-haired girl slapped the other in the face, but fortunately that worked and both were floating in the sky. Yamakumo quickly pulled both girls into the ground safely, and finally the brown-haired girl deactivated her quirk ... and then she threw up. Are you okay? Yamakumo asked. The brown-haired girl just raised her thumb up, while the other was muttering something about getting some points, but before she could say anything, time's up. Present Mike screamed, and the girl just collapsed into the ground. Her body is so broken. Is this the backlash of One for All? Then I'm glad I didn't accept it. Sorry girl, but better you than me. He then heard the other applicants speaking. Who's that girl? She has some kind of strength and quirk, but she is very nervous. She destroyed the robot with one hit. There's no doubt that she is amazing. They don't see it, do they? She didn't do that to show up her strength. He did it to rescue the other girl. She didn't even flinch. But why the proctors didn't stop the robot? Maybe they wanted to prove the heroism of the applicants. In that case, there must be second type of score, one that rate the heroic acts. If that's the case, then she HMM. Yamakumo wondered. He then turned and saw the glasses guy staring at the girl. He was probably thinking the same. Good, all of you did great. A small old lady said. Who is she? An applicant said. That mademoiselle is the pillar of UA. She is the reason of why the school can do these dangerous tests, said the French-looking guy. She is the heroine recovery girl. The now identified as recovery girl got close to the green-haired girl. Oh my. It looks like as your quirk and body are not in tune with each other. Let's fix you up. Then she kissed the girl's forehead and quickly the girl has healed to everyone's surprise. Is there anyone else injured? A week later, at Anagi's bar, Yamakumo POV. Yamakumo was having a dinner with his parents. A week passed since the test. Kanoko talked about the exam and her experience in there, without knowing that he participated in it as well. The results must be ready for today or by tomorrow, right? Asked Akane. Yes, I'm confident. I know I passed, but I'm still a little nervous, replied Yamakumo. I'm so happy that you got an opportunity to take the exam. Remember, thank the principal Nezu for the opportunity. Don't worry, I will. Suddenly a knock in the door was heard. I'll open the door. Thanks for the meal. Yamakumo opened the door and saw the male guy. I have a card for Yamakumo at Anagi. From UA. Well, look at you, trying to get in. I wish you luck. Here you go, the male guy said, handing Yamakumo his acceptance letter. Thank you, he said before closing the door. He quickly went to the table and opened the letter. A small device was found inside the letter. He put the device on the table and a holographic screen showed the principal Nezu. Yamakumo Adanagi. In this projection, I will provide you with your scores in the entrance exam. First of all, you got a perfect score in the written part. Congratulations. Now, for the practical, you scored a total of 82 villain points. That is more than enough, you pass. Congratulations. Yamakumo smiled at that. But that's not all, you see. We had a secret scoring, rescue points. We rate the heroic acts apart from the villain points. By saving another applicant from a dangerous fall, you earned a total of 30 hero points, earning a total of 112 points overall, as well taking the first place in the scoreboard. Within this letter, you will also find your student ID, as well for your assigned class. We are waiting at your Hero Academy. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You didn't just get in, you also scored first place, Akane said while hugging Yamakumo. Yamakumo returned the hug but didn't say anything. Brother, I did it. He broke the hug and felt his phone vibrate. He pulled it from his pants and saw a message from Kanoko. I did it. I got in. K. He smiled and replied. See, I told you'll get in. Congrats. Why? He saved his phone and took a last glance at the screen where the scoreboard was projected. UAS Entrance Exam Scoreboard. 1. Yamakumo Adanagi. Villain points, 82. Rikyu points, 30. Total, 112. 2. Katsuki Bakugo. Villain points, 77. Rikyu points, 0. Total, 77. 3. Ijiro Kirishima. Villain points, 39. Rescue points, 35. Total, 74. 4. Achako Uraraka. Villain points, 28. Hero points, 45. Total, 73. 5. Kinoko Komori. Villain points, 40. Hero points, 30. Total, 70. 6. Ibara Shizaki. Villain points, 36. Hero points, 32. Total, 68. 7. Tenya Ida. Villain points, 52. Hero points, 9. Total, 61. 8. Izumi Midoriya. Villain points, 0. Hero points, 60. Total, 60. 9. Tetsu. Villain points, 49. Hero points, 10. Total, 59. 10. Fumikage Takoyami. Villain points, 47. Hero points, 10. Total, 57. Classmates and teacher. The practical test scores just came out. The teachers were reviewing all the scores from the practical exam. UAS Entrance Exam Scoreboard. 1. Yamakumo Adanagi. Villain points, 82. Rikyu points, 30. Total, 112. 2. Katsuki Bakugo. Villain points, 77. Rikyu points, 0. Total, 77. 3. Ijiro Kirishima. Villain points, 39. Rescue points, 35. Total, 74. 4. Achako Uraraka. Villain points, 28. Hero points, 45. Total, 73. 5. Kanoko Komori. Villain points 40. Hero points 30. Total 70. 6. Ibara Shizaki. Villain points 36. Hero points 32. Total 68. 7. Tenya Ida. Villain points 52. Hero points 9. Total 61. 8. Izumi Midoriya. Villain points 0. Hero points 60. Total 60. 9. Tetsu. Villain points 49. Hero points 10. Total 59. 10. Fumikage Takoyami. Villain points 47. Hero points 10. Total 57. Look at the first place. Not only did he have quite a few villain points, but he also managed to get a good amount of rescue points. And he didn't even use his quirk until the end, said a female voice while watching at Yamakumo's performance. He got a total of 112 points. It's been a while since an applicant surpassed the 100 points. The last ones were All Might and Endeavor. He even surpassed Endeavor's 107 score and was so close to All Might's 119 score, said Nezu, while passing to the next participant. Let's not underestimate the second place either. A total of 77 only in villain points. In the second half, while the other participants seemed to weaken, he used his quirk and let the villains come closer and then continue with the counterattack, said another voice while looking at Bakugo's performance. In contrast, she came to 8th with 0 villain points. Other people had faced the 0 points in the past, but I haven't seen someone smash it that way in a long time. It made me scream yeah, without thinking, said present Mike while watching at Izumi's performance. But she suffered serious injuries from her own blow, just like someone who had just manifested its quirk. She is an unusual girl, except for the rescue points. There would have been the typical failed exam, said another teacher. While everyone was talking about this, a man was looking at the screen with a tired look in his face. Too much noise. Kanoko was getting ready for her first day at the UA. She finished changing into her new uniform and finished her breakfast. I'm going now. See you later, she said to her parents. Good luck, honey. We are so proud of you, said her mother. She smiled at her and opened the door, only to see Yamakumo standing in front of her house. He was looking at her and was dressed in a familiar uniform. She then realized that he was wearing UAS uniform. Yami-kun, what are you doing here? And why are you wearing a UAS uniform? Well, since we are going to study at the same school, I figured that we could walk there together. You managed to enter the UA. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to surprise you, Yamakumo said while scratching the back of his head. Fine, but you better tell me how you managed that. Sure, I'll tell you in the way. By the way, which class did you get? I get class 1A. What a coincidence, I also have class 1A. That's so cool. We will be together in the same school and same class. It's the destiny. I'm counting on you to show me how the school works. You don't know how a school works. I never went to a school. Remember? True. Don't worry then, you are in good hands. After this conversation, they arrived at the train station and took a train to the UA. Yamakumo then proceeded to tell Kanoko about what happened after the QHC incident. He told her everything, except of his encounter with All Might and the One for All. Usually he doesn't hide anything from her, but since this is All Might's, and maybe that green-haired Midoriya girl, secret he isn't allowed to tell anybody. They soon arrived at UA. They quickly went to their classroom. Here we are. The door is really big, said Kanoko with excitement, probably for people with mutant quirks. After this they entered the classroom, only to see 2 persons inside. The first one is a boy. He is a reasonably tall and rather muscular young man who is well built for his age. He has quite long hair, though it doesn't pass his neck, and wears bangs, parted twice as to not obscure his vision. His hair is evenly split between 2 colors, white on his right side and crimson red on his left, and has heterochromia and has a born scar in his left side of his face. He kind of reminds me of Dabi. Yamakumo remembered Dabi and his burned face. Other student is a girl. She is a tall teenage girl with a rather mature physique, especially in the chest region. She has long black hair that is normally tied into a spiky ponytail with a large strand hanging on the right side of her face. Her eyes are thin and sharp, dark in color and paired with short eyebrows set in a determined expression. Both turned at the duo. Kanoko waved friendly at them. The girl returned the friendly gesture and the boy just stared for a few seconds then turned his side away. It looks like we are early, said Kanoko. I'm always early, replied Yamakumo. I already know it. You infected me with your earliness. Both then took seat and started talking about trivial stuff, waiting for the rest of their classmates to arrive. They were quickly joined by the girl from before. Greetings, my name is Momo Yaoyorozu. Nice to meet you. She introduced herself. Hello, I'm Kanoko Komori and this guy over here is Yamakumo Adanagi, said Kanoko pointing at her then at Yamakumo. Hi, said Yamakumo with a slight nervous face. It's the first person from his age, besides Kanoko, with whom he is speaking. Momo stared at him, wondering if it's something wrong with him. Seeing this reaction, Kanoko explained. Don't worry about him. He isn't really good with people and making new friends. You see, I'm actually his only friend. That's not true. I have other friends, said Yamakumo with indignation. All your friends, besides me, are adults, said Kanoko. Whatever, said Yamakumo with a false anger. Momo just giggled at this interaction. Izumi POV. Izumi arrived at UA. Hoping that she isn't late, she was selected into Class 1 and now was staring at the classroom's door. Here I am. The door is so big, maybe for accessibility. She put her hand in the door. These students are chosen from a giant number of candidates. It would be nice if Kachin or the scary glasses guy were in the other class. Although, I hope that the handsome guy or the cute, nice girl are in this class. She started blushing after processing what she thought. Why do I have to like both boys and girls? After calming Son, she entered the classroom only to see an interesting scene. Put your feet down of the desk. Don't you think that's disrespecting our superiors and those who made this desk? Shut up. Who do you think you are? Why? Izumi thought with sorrow. My name is Tenya Ida. I come from the private school Sumi. The glasses guy introduced himself. Sumi huh. You are from the Goddamn Elite. It would be funny to crush you, replied Bakugo. Crush me? Are you sure you want to be a hero? Tenya said, but quickly turned his gaze at the door where Izumi was standing and quickly went to introduce himself. Hello, I am a student from the Priva. I already heard it. And my name is Izumi Midoriya. Nice to meet you, Ida-kun, interrupted Izumi. Midoriya-san, I was wrong about you. You figure it out the secret score from the entrance exam. I hate to admit it, but you are better than me. I didn't realize anything. She then turned at the rest of her classmates and she saw the handsome guy from the entrance exam. He stared at her for a few seconds with a serious face. Then he continued talking with the brown-haired girl beside him and forming a slight smile in his face. She was interrupted by a voice behind her. That curly hair. You are that plain-looking girl. It was the nice girl from the exam. You passed the exam, just like President Mike said. Your punch was incredible, she said while mimicking Izumi's punch from the exam. Aye, thanks. While this was happening, Bakugo was glaring at Izumi, remembering the conversation they had after receiving the scores. If you are here to make friends, go to another place. Everyone turned at the source of the voice, only to see a man inside a yellow sleeping bag with a tired expression. This is ... the hero course, said the man in a tired tone. That thing is alive. It was the collective thoughts. Neutral POV. It took you 8 seconds to calm down, said the man while getting out of the sleeping bag. We have limited time. You lack a sense of rationality. Is he our teacher? Then that means that he is a pro-hero, but I don't recognize him. Izumi thought. So, we have Eraserhead as our teacher. I remember meeting him when I came here to get my permission from the principal. Yamakumo thought. My name is Shota Aizawa. I'll be your homeroom teacher, he said. Then he pulled a uniform from his sleeping bag. I know it's too early, but put this on and meet me at the training ground. Training ground. Quirk apprehension test. What about the entrance ceremony and the orientation? Asked Uraraka. If you are going to become heroes, there is no time to relax with those type of events, answered Shota. One of the selling cards of the UA is the freedom of the school. That also applies for the teachers. Adanagi, you got first place in the entrance exam, Shota said while this angered Bakugo. He finally met the guy who stole him first place. How many meters did you achieve when throwing the ball at the school? Asked Shota while handing Yamakumo a ball. I don't know, answered Yamakumo. You don't know? Asked Aizawa. Everyone, except Kanoko, was curious about that as well. Yeah, I never went to a school, so I don't have those kinds of records. Everyone, except Kanoko, was surprised by this revelation. How did this guy enter at UA without having gone to any school? Right, I forgot about that. Anyway, throw the ball using your quirk. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't exit the circle. I will do the same as I do when I fly, only that I will apply it on the ball. He then proceeded to ignite the ball. Then he used his fire to shoot the ball like a canyon. He then used his telekinesis to make the ball float, and with the fire surrounding the ball he propelled the ball forward. The shot was so strong that it created a gust of wind from which everyone had to cover. Aizawa's machine made a sound and he saw the score from Yamakumo. First you will learn your limits. This is the rational method to form the base of a hero, he said while showing the score to the rest of the class, 1126 meters. Wow, more than a kilometer, said a red-haired guy. Wow, we can use our quirks as we like. This is the best. It should be fun, said a pink girl. Fun, huh, said Aizawa drawing all the attention. You have 3 years to become heroes. Do you intend to spend them with that attitude? Very well. The person remaining with the lowest rating will be judged as lacking potential and will be expelled. What? The lowest will be expelled? That's not fair. Natural disasters, major accidents, villains, calamities that you do not know when or where they will occur. The world is full of injustices. From now on, for 3 years, the O will give them hardships and sufferings in full force, one after another. Go beyond, plus ultra. Overcome this with all your might. Come on, said Aizawa, while everyone started to get serious. First test, 50 meters run. Ida used his quirk and scored a total of 3.04 seconds. Tenya Ida. Quirk, engine. Tenya's quirk gives him car-like engines in each of his calves, giving him incredible running speed and extreme kicking power. Tenya needs to fuel his engines by drinking orange juice. Suyu Isui, a girl with frog-like features, scored a total of 5.58 seconds. Uraraka used her quirk in her clothes, managing to score a total of 7.15 seconds. Ochako Uraraka. Quirk, Zero Gravity. Ochako's quirk gives her the power to nullify the effects of gravity on solid targets by touching them with the pads on her fingertips, causing them to become weightless and float. She is able to cancel the effect of her quirk by touching her finger pads together. Yamakumo used his fire to propel himself, scoring a total of 3.47 seconds. Kanoko used her mushrooms to boost herself by jumping on them, scoring a total of 5.13 seconds. Bakugo used his quirk to boost himself and scoring a total of 4.13 seconds. Katsuki Bakugo. Quirk, Explosion. Katsuki's quirk allows him to secrete nitroglycerin like sweat from the palms of his hands and ignite it on command, allowing him to create strong explosions. The more Katsuki sweats, the stronger his explosions become. If Katsuki overuses this power, his forearms will start to ache. Izumi just ran towards the finish line, scoring a total of 7.02 seconds. Second test, Grip Force. The only interesting score was from a boy named Mizo Shoji, who scored a total of 540 kilograms. Fifth test, Ball Throw. It was Bakugo's turn to throw the ball. Die. He screamed while used his quirk to shoot the ball away, scoring a total of 705.2 meters. Forget what I said about Ida, he really needs to chill out. Those were Yamakumo thoughts. Hiraraka used her quirk in the ball, scoring a total of infinite. This is useless. Everyone got at least one awesome score. If I keep things like this, I will be last. Izumi thought while preparing for the ball throw. Midoriya-san isn't doing it well, said Ida. Of course, she isn't. She is just a quirkless loser, said Bakugo. Quirkless. This only confirms my theory. She inherited one for all. I need to talk to her about this. Well, only if she isn't expelled. Those were Yamakumo thoughts. Izumi threw the ball, but it just scored 46 meters. What? But this time I really wanted to use it. I erased your quirk, said Aizawa, getting closer to Izumi. It's not rational that someone like you passed the entrance exam. Erased? Wait, those goggles. You are the erasure hero Eraserhead, said Izumi. Shota Aizawa Aka Eraserhead. Quirk, Erasure. Shota's quirk gives him the ability to nullify another person's quirk by looking at the user. The effects of this quirk can still last even if Shota's line of vision is out of range. Erasure deactivates if Shota blinks. From what I saw, you can't control your quirk. If you become disabled again, are you planning to ask someone for help? He said while wrapping her in his bandages. Even if you plan that, no one will help you. He then freed her. Your quirk is back. I'll give you a second try to throw the ball. Izumi prepared to throw the ball, no sign of her quirk activating. But at the last possible second, she activated her quirk in her middle finger and throwed the ball far away, surprising Eraserhead with that and scoring a total of 705.3 meters. Sensei, she called, closing her hand tightly. I still can move. Kid mumbled a surprised Eraserhead with a weird smile on his face. Finally, a heroic score, cheered Uraraka. It looks like she hurt her finger like in the entrance exam. What a weird quirk. Smart. I have to give her that. And judging by Eraser's expression, it looks like no one is getting expelled today. Yamakumo thought. Meanwhile, Bakugo. DIKU. He charged at Izumi, completely furious. Where do you got that quirk? He was about to hit her but was stopped by Eraserhead wrapping his bandages at him. If you keep making me use my quirk, I'll get a dry eye, he said while glaring at Bakugo. Don't lose time. Let's continue with the rest of the tests. The rest of the tests passed, and everyone was ready to check their scores. I didn't get any special score besides the ball one. The total is the simple addition of all the marks of each test. That means that the expelled will be. Izumi thought. Showing one by one the results will be irrational, so I just show all of them in one. Aizawa said while showing the results of the test. Izumi was last as she predicted. By the way, I lied about expelling someone. It was a rational lie, so everyone gives their best. Yeah, it was everyone's reaction. It was so obvious, said Momo. No, he wasn't lying, I saw it in his eyes. Midoriya surprised him enough so that he would not expel her. Yamakumo thought. We are done for today. In the classroom you can find the agenda and other documents. I suggest reading them, Midoriya. Go with Recovery Girl to heal. Starting tomorrow this will be packed with more rigorous testing, Aizawa said, handing Izumi a document for use of the infirmary. I'm safe, for now. Starting from the bottom. I have to train harder than before so I can reach my dream, thought Izumi while staring at the scoreboard. 1. Yamakumo Adanagi. 2. Momo Yaoyorozu. 3. Shoto Todoroki. 4. Katsuki Bakugo. 5. Tenya Ida. 6. Fumikage Takoyami. 7. Shoji Mizo. 8. Ajiro Kirishima. 9. Kanoko Komori. 10. Mina Ashido. 11. Achako Uraraka. 12. Rikido Sato. 13. Tsuyu Sui. 14. Mashiro Ajiro. 15. Yuga Ayama. 16. Hanta Siro. 17. Denki Kaminari. 18. Kyoka Jiru. 19. Minoru Maita. 20. Izumi Midoriya. The school was over for the day and Izumi was ready to go home. I'm so tired. Midoriya-san, is your finger okay? Ida-kun. Yes, thanks to Recovery Girl. Both started heading to the train station. Aizawa-sensei really got me today. To think a professor will encourage us with a lie. I thought Ida-kun was a scary person, but he's really just very serious. You too. Wait, it was Uraraka heading towards them. Are you heading to the train station? You are the Infinity Girl, Ida said. I'm Achako Uraraka. You must be Tenya Ida-kun and Midoriya. Deku-san. Deku, yes, that's how Bekugo called you. And my real name is Izumu. Kachin calls me Deku to mock me. An insult then. I'm so sorry. But Deku sound like you can do it to me. I like it. You can call me Deku. Midoriya-san. Don't take it lightly. Wasn't it an insult? It's like in the Copernican Revolution. When the trio headed to the train station, they encountered another two classmates, Kanoko and Yamakumo. The last one was carrying both his and Kanoko's backpacks. Are you heading to the train station as well? Asked the mushroom girl. Yes, you are the mushroom girl. And you are the one who scored first, said Ida. I am Kanoko Komori, and this guy is Yamakumo Adanagi. Hi, said a completely serious Yamakumo. Why does she have to talk with everyone? Actually, Yamakumo was using his seriousness to hide his nervousness. He was still not used to talking to people his age. Adanagi-kun, if you let me ask, you said you never went to a school. How did you manage to get into the entrance exam? Asked Ida. I was homeschooled. Yes, homeschooled. One day I met the principal, and he gave me an opportunity at the entrance exam, but don't worry, I was judged same as the rest. I see. While this was happening, Izumi was inside her thoughts. Even though he is homeschooled, he scored first in the entrance exam and the quirk apprehension test. I still have a lot to learn. But All Might, I think I can be happy, because I was able to make friends. Yamakumo POV. Izumi Midoriya. I have to ask All Might first about her. Then I will talk to her about One for All, and maybe help her to control it. He then turned at the sky. Brother, I think I can be happy, because I was able to make friends of my age. Combat training. A new day has come. And Class 1 was having their morning lessons, right? They were having English classes with Present Mike. Well, among the following sentences, which one has an error? Asked Present Mike. So normal. Most of the class thought. This is fucking boring. You know who thought that? It must be the fourth. You have the relative pronoun in the wrong place. Izumi thought. Man, I love school. I never thought I would be able to learn a lot of new stuff here. Yamakumo thought, enjoying the new knowledge he acquired. After the morning lessons, in the afternoon, it is lunchtime. It is first-class food at low prices in the large dining room. White rice is one of the best foods in the world, said the chef who was the pro-hero Lungcrush. It's the cook hero Lungcrush, thought Izumi. So, since when do you know each other? You two seem quite inseparable, asked Uraraka to Yamakumo and Kanoko. We met 3 years ago, and we've been friends since, answered Kanoko while Yamakumo was just listening. That's so cute. Are you together? Asked Uraraka. What? And no, we are just friends, said Kanoko with a red face. Meanwhile, Yamakumo thought about what Uraraka said. True, we are friends, but I'm not against that idea either. She is the person I trust the most. By the way, Adanagi-kun, I've noticed your scars in your face. Are those the reasons of you having two eye colors? Asked Uraraka. Uraraka-san, you can't ask such questions. It can be a sensitive topic for him, scolded Ida. That's fine, if you really want to know. All I have to say is that it was in an accident, and yes, I lost my left eye and I had it replaced in a surgery. I'm so sorry. It's okay, I don't really mind. I guess this is a part of who I am, and I accept it. That's an interesting view, said Ida. He suffered and learned with that. He accepted it and moved forwards. He is so awesome, thought Izumi. After finishing the lunch, it was the moment everyone was waiting for, the basic study for heroes. He is here, coming through the door like a normal person. Said, more like screamed, All Might standing at the door in a weird pose. That's not really normal, thought Yamakumo with a deadpan face. All Might, is he really a teacher? He is wearing his Silver Age costume. This is so awesome. This is the heroics class. Here we will do various practices to build the foundations of a hero, said All Might while doing some heroic poses. It might seem too fast, but today we are doing combat training, he said while pulling a card with the word battle written in it. Combat training, divided by combat training. Bakugo and Izumi thought at the same time, one more excited than the other. And with that, we also have those. All Might pushed a button and from the wall a lot of briefcases emerged, ordered according to the report of their quirks and the application they received before entering the school year HERP costumes. Everyone stands up and grabs their respective briefcase. When you've changed your clothes, gather at the beta training ground. Beta training ground. Boys and girls, it is important to start training from your appearance. Thus, you will be aware of yourself. From today you are heroes. Everyone stepped in the room, dressed in their respective hero costumes. Yamakumo stepped out with the rest of his classmates. At the beginning he wanted to use his vigilante costume as his hero costume, but then he thought about it. After being accepted into UA he had access to better resources to make his costume, so he decided to take advantage and request a better costume with more protection and more practical for a hero. His costume was a black full-body suit and black boots. He had a gray and dark green utility belt with some first aid supplies. He also had gray and dark green armor above the suit. The armor was made of the same metal of his katana. It was strong and resistant but lightweight. His katana is strapped in his back but with some differences. All the red details from stain were replaced for dark green ones. He also wears a gray scarf which also uses as a cap. Finally, he also wears a gray and dark green mask that only cover his frontal face. The mask has a black visor and has a filter to be able to breathe in dangerous environments and underwater. Yami-kun, is that you? You look so cool, Kanoko said while observing at Yamakumo's costume. Suit was skin-tight and she could see his muscles, at least the one that weren't covered by the armor. She blushed a little. Yamakumo checked Kanoko's costume. Her hero costume consists of a turtleneck dress with long sleeves and furred cuffs, which is decorated with a red and white fly agaric pattern, matching the one on her mushroom cap-shaped hat. She wears pale pink knee-high boots with thick tan soles and frilled shafts, patterned with the same fly agaric as her dress, and around her waist is a dark brown belt with a large golden buckle. Altogether, her costume bears a strong resemblance to a mushroom, referring to the quirk she possesses. Yamakumo also noted how her costume didn't leave anything of her attributes to imagination, especially her long, never-ending legs. Wait, what? After processing his thoughts, he started to blush madly. He was grateful to wear a mask right now. This the first time I think like this. Then again, just look at her. After this they met with Ida and Uraraka. Hey guys, your costumes are so cool, said Uraraka. Thanks, yours as well, answered Kanoko. By the way, have you seen Deku-chan? No, I thought she was with you. I see, everyone is eager to start. Wait, where is young Midoriya? Some steps could be heard at the entrance of the room. It was Izumi entering the room. Sorry, it took me more than I thought to put my costume on. No worries. Now that you are here, we can begin with the battle training. Deku-chan, that's your costume. I guess we both should have been more specific with what we asked for. Our suits are a bit tight, don't you think? Why yeah, I guess. Her costume was tight. Not as the same level of Uraraka, but still. Hero course is the best, said a small guy. Yes, you all look great, said All Might. Then he noticed Izumi's costume and noticed the resemblances with his hair and smile. So obvious. Professor, this is the same place to practice the entrance exam. Are we going to carry out another exercise in an urban area? Ida asked to All Might. No, we will take 2 steps forward. It will be an indoor melee battle practice. Villain attacks usually occur in exteriors, but this time will be different. You will divide into teams of heroes and villains. This will be a 2 versus 2 battle. Aren't we supposed to train the basics first? Asked the frog girl, Suyu. This is a battle to train the basics. Just this time, there won't be any robots to easily destroy. What will be the victory or defeat system? Asked Momo. Can I destroy them? Asked Bakugo. Will there also be an expulsion punishment like in Aizawa-sensei's class? Asked Uraraka. How are we going to divide? Asked Ida with his usual hand movement. Please, one at a time, I don't have super hearing. Let's see. The villains will hide a nuclear weapon in their hideout. The heroes will try to get rid of her. The heroes, within a set time, must catch the villains and recover the nuclear weapon. The villains, within the established time, must protect the nuclear weapon and catch the heroes. All Might said, while reading all of this from a paper sheet. The teams will be decided by lottery. Is that the right thing to do? Asked Ida. It must be because professional heroes frequently form sudden teams with other heroes, answered Izumi. I see. You keep thinking into the future. Sorry for interrupting. Okay, let's do it. I got Lettera who will be my partner. I just hope that is one of my friends, thought Izumi, but her thoughts were interrupted by a voice. It looks like we are a team now. I'm looking forwards to work with you. It was a pink-skinned girl and was smiling at her. My name is Mina Ashido. Nice to meet you, partner, she said, raising her fist for a fist bump. Izumi returned, nervously, the gesture and introduced herself, the best she could. My name is Izumi Midoriya, and nice to meet you. Let's do our best. Relax, girl. We are going to do it just fine. With Yamakumo, letter E. Kanoko was paired with Uraraka, Ida with the explosive Pomeranian, and Midoriya with the pink girl. Yamakumo searched for his partner and saw a blonde guy with the same letter as his. Come on, I can talk with him. We are just gonna work together. We don't have to be friends. He got closer to the guy and started talking to him. Hi, it looks like we are a team. My name is Yamakumo Adanagi. The guy quickly smiled and answered him. Yes, with you we will sure win our match. My name is Denki Kaminari, by the way, he said while shaking hands with Yamakumo. The rest of the teams were formed, and all the teams were Izumi Midoriya and Mina Ashido, Bishoto Todoroki and Mizo Shoji, Momo Yaoyorozu and Minoru Maita, Bakugo Katsuki and Tenya Ida, Yamakumo Adanagi and Denki Kaminari, Rikido Sato and Kyoka Jiru, Kanoko Komori and Achako Uraraka, Tsuyu Asui and Fumikage Takoyami, Imashirawa Jiro, Hantasiro and Ijiro Kirishima. Now that the teams are ready, let's continue. The first teams to fight each other will be those, All Might said while pulling 2 balls from 2 boxes. The balls had the letters A and D. Team O will be the heroes and Team D will be the villains. I'll have to fight Kachin. You are going down, Deku. Villain team will enter first to prepare. In 5 minutes we'll start with the infiltration of the hero team. Everyone else will watch from the screen. Young Ida, young Bakugo, try to learn the mentality of a villain. Attack with everything without fear of injury. Although I will suspend the practice if I see that you over limit. With Team D, even if this is just a practice, become a villain is weird. If we protect this thing, everything will be alright, said Ida. Hey, glasses, Deku has quirk, right? You saw that superhuman strength, right? Although it seems that using it is a great risk. But you always get too aggressive when it comes to Midoriya-san. Was she lying to me? That damn nerd. With Team A, this map is so weird, I can't memorize it. Well, doesn't matter, said Mina while throwing the map away. At least we don't have the threat of expulsion like in Aizawa-sensei's class. So we can be more relaxed, right? She then turned at Izumi, only to see her completely nervous. You are Suo not relaxed. As sorry, it's just that. We are facing Kachin and Ida-kun. Kachin? You mean Bakugo? Wait, you have a nickname for him. Do you like him? What? And no, I don't like him and I'm completely sure that he hates me. We know each other since we were 4. I see. Childhood friend. He is incredible. He may be a disagreeable guy, but his goal, confidence, strength, and quirk are more incredible than mine. But precisely because of that I don't want to lose, Izumi said with a confident face at the end and putting her mask. That's the spirit girl. Now let's prepare to win. After that short conversation, All Might indicated the beginning of the battle training. Izumi and Mina managed to infiltrate the building. Infiltration success, whispered Mina. There's a lot of blind spots in here. We must be careful, whispered Izumi. I still can control the power of one for all. If I shoot it towards someone, I could kill him. Izumi's thoughts were interrupted when she catches something in the corner of her eyes. Bakugo quickly appeared in front of the girls and attacked with an explosion. Izumi managed to dodge it and tackled Mina away from the explosion as well. Unfortunately, her face mask was reached by the explosion and was destroyed. Ashido-san, are you okay? Yes, thanks. He appeared from nowhere. Come on, Deku, don't dodge it. I knew you were coming directly to me. In the observation room. Geez, Bakugo, that's cheating. A surprise attack isn't manly, said a red-haired guy. Yes, but Midoriya dodged it, another student said. Surprise attacks are also good strategies. Come on, Deku, fight me, Bakugo screamed while preparing another attack. Before Bakugo could land another hit, Izumi intercepted his right arm and grabbed it. Then she turned around and using Bakugo's weight she slammed him into the ground. Did she read my movements? Generally, you always start with a powerful punch to the right. I've seen you countless times. All my analyses were wrote down in my notebook. The same notebook that you burned. I'm no longer the weak and good-for-nothing Deku. Now my Deku means you can do it. Yes, you tell him, girl. Meanwhile, with the bomb was Ida completely confused by the disappearance of his teammate. Bakugo-kun. He just ran off like crazy. What's wrong with that guy? You always stood up to defend others, despite always trembling with fear. It's what I hate the most about you. Bakugo-kun. What's the situation over there? You just ran away. It was Ida talking from the communicator. Shut up, Four Eyes. Stay and defend the bomb. I'm really pissed off right now. Bakugo answered and turned off his communicator. Ashido-san, go and search for the bomb. I'll handle Kachin. Are you sure? Yes. Now go. After hearing this, Mina left the place in search of the bomb. DIKU. Don't get distracted, screamed Bakugo while charging at Izumi again. Izumi managed to dodge Bakugo's attack and trapped his leg with the capture tape. Notebook number 10, page 18. Now Kachin will irritate again and try to do another attack with his right just like Izumi predicted. Bakugo attacked again with his right, but Izumi dodged it again, then she started running away. I need to think of a strategy. Where do you think you are going, Deku? It must be really funny, right? Hiding that cool quirk to everyone. You've been lying to me all this time, right? Come on, use it. Meanwhile, Izumi was hiding in a corner. Just as I expected, he focused on me, ignoring Ashido completely. I just need to distract Kachin until Ashido finds Ida and the bomb. Then I'll go there, and it would be a 2 versus 1 battle. In that scenario, we could win. I just need to be careful with Kachin's hands and everything would be fine. I found the bomb. I need to remain hidden until Midoriya arrives. Mina thought about a strategy to capture the bomb. It seems that Bakugo-kun is naturally evil, but I think that is the goal of this practice. In that case, I should also delve into my role. To become a hero, I must be colored with evil. I am very evil, said Ida while trying to act like a villain. Mina managed, hardly, to hold her laugh by covering her mouth tightly. He is taking this so serious. Then she heard aloud, I am the embodiment of evil itself from Ida. Midoriya, please hurry. I don't know how much I can hold myself from laughing. With Izumi, I can't hide forever. I need to think of a strategy. Found you, you damn nerd. Bakugo found her and was aiming his gauntlet at her. Since you are a stalker, I'm sure you already know. My explosions arise thanks to the sweat glands of my hands. They release nitroglycerin, which is what I make explode. If my gauntlet is designed according to my requests, this substance has accumulated on the inside of my gauntlet. Young Bakugo, stop. Are you trying to kill her? If she dodges it, she won't die. He then pulled the fuse, and a giant explosion was blasted from the gauntlet towards Izumi, destroying a big part of the building. With Mina and Ida. What was that? Ida got distracted by the sudden explosion. Now is my chance. Mina took advantage of Ida being distracted and run towards the bomb. Sadly, Ida noticed her and quickly interposed between her and the bomb, but she was prepared. Using her quirk in her feet, she uses the acid to slide and dodge Ida. She used her quirk to slide faster and dodge me. I can't let her capture the bomb. Mina was about to touch the bomb, but suddenly it disappeared from her sight. Interesting tactic, but I am faster. I can move the bomb before you can touch it, Ida said while was touching the bomb. He used his quirk to move the bomb before Mina could touch it. Damn it, I almost had it. With Izumi and Bakugo, the dust cleared and Izumi was in the floor. She barely dodged that explosion, but the right arm of her costume was destroyed. What do you think about that, Deku? Come on, use your quirk. I want to destroy you at your best. Bakugo was standing in front of her. Midoriya, I'm against Ida. I tried to capture the bomb while Ida was distracted, but I failed. It was Mina talking to her. Where are you? In the middle of the 5th floor, right above us. Are you ignoring me, Deku? Asked a furious Bakugo. Young Bakugo, if you use that attack again, your team will be disqualified. An attack like that can destroy the place you are supposed to defend. Fine. In that case, Bakugo was getting more furious. Ashido-san, get as far away from the center of the room as possible, Izumi ordered to Mina. I'll use my fists, Bakugo finished saying and charged at Izumi again. Izumi tried to counterattack, but Bakugo used an explosion to locate himself at Izumi's back and shot her another explosion, this time hitting the target. But that wasn't all. Bakugo grabbed Izumi's right arm and used another explosion to throw her to a near wall. Why aren't you using your quirk? Do you underestimate me? And no, you what? I want to defeat you. Then prove it. Use it. After this exchange, both charged against each other. Bakugo prepared another explosion and Izumi activated one for all in her right arm. Both of you stow. Ashido-sen, prepare yourself. Izumi interrupted All Might. She then blocked, with her left arm, Bakugo's attack and used a Detroit Smash. Not towards Bakugo, she aimed to the roof. Smash. The upper levels started to get destroyed. With Mina and Ida, Mina did what Izumi told her, for Ida's confusion. Then the floor between them collapsed with a lot of debris in the air. Mina used this to her advantage and used the debris to propel herself towards the bomb. Once again, Ida interposed himself between Mina and the bomb. I was expecting you to do that, Mina said. She then kicked Ida directly in the face with a dropkick. She then used Ida's body to push herself towards the bomb and capture it. I did it. The bomb is secured. NOOO. The bomb, screamed Ida. Hero team. WIIINS. Those were All Might's final words before Izumi collapsed. In the observation room. Everyone was back at the observation room, except Izumi, who was taken to the infirmary. Good. We can say that the MVP of the battle is between young Ida and young Ashido. I understand Ashido, but why Ida? Didn't he lose? Why is that? Who can tell me? I can. Momo raised her arm. Bakugo-san's actions, from what I saw, were arbitrary decisions motivated by a personal grudge. Also, as the professor said before, a large-scale attack indoors is nonsense. The same goes for Midoriya-san. She then directed to Mina and Ida. On the contrary, the actions of both Ashido-san and Ida-san were correct. Both acted according to the situation. Ida-san appropriately simulated the fight. Ashido-san did the same, in addition to capturing the weapon without taking any irrational action and keeping the damage to a minimum. If I had to decide, I would say that Ashido-sen is the MVP of the match because she was the one who gave the victory to her team, but it is a full-fledged draw. Everyone was silent after that explanation. See, correct. But Ada could be a little bit more relaxed next time. Let's change the building and continue with the next battle. After changing buildings, All Might pulled another 2 balls. They had the letters B and E. Okay, team, you will be the villains. Go to the building and prepare, and please keep the destruction at minimum this time. Yamakumo and Denki went inside the building to prepare their fight against Todoroki and Shoji. With Shoji and Todoroki, Shoji was using his quirk to scout and find the target. Mizo Shoji. Quirk, Dupli Arms. Mizo's quirk grants him a set of tentacles alongside his arms. He can transform the tips of these tentacles to replicate other parts of his body. The duplicated body parts are more efficient than the originals. As a result, Mizo can hear better, see through more angles at a time, and they grant him much higher degrees of strength. Both of them are located in the highest room of the building, probably still thinking of a strategy or being defensive. Said Shoji to Todoroki, "Get out of here. It can be dangerous. They must be trying a defensive tactic, but is irrelevant to me." Todoroki then proceeded to freeze the entire building. He then searched for the weapon, leaving Shoji behind. Shoto Todoroki. Quirk, half hot, half cold. Shoto's quirk gives him the ability to generate ice from the right side of his body and flames from his left side. By the time he arrived at the top floor, he entered the room with the bomb, stepping inside and touching all the water in the room. Wait, water? Well, it seems that he was right. Todoroki looked at the voice and saw Denki looking at him. "Did you know that water is an incredible conductor of electricity?" asked Denki. Then he proceeded to use his quirk on the water. Denki Kaminari. Quirk, Electrification. Denki's quirk allows him to generate electricity and cover his body in it, while he can also emit this energy over a distance. Denki has little to no control over it. Exceeding his wattage limit causes his brain to short-circuit, leaving him in a vulnerable state for 1 hour. The electricity reached Todoroki, thanks to him touching the water, and was strong enough to paralyze him. Denki used this and proceeded to capture Todoroki with the capture tape. "He read you like an open book," said to Todoroki. With Shoji, Shoto Todoroki has been captured. Those were All Might words. What? That's what Shoji managed to say before a voice interrupted him. He got reckless. Shoji tried to move but then realized that he was trapped in the capture tape. He then turned at the voice only to see Yamakumo with the capture tape in his hands. "And you were trapped. We win. Mizo Shoji has been captured. The villain team wins." In the observation room, everyone was open-mouthed. That match was so fast. Firstly, they were impressed by Todoroki's power, but then the other team captured both in record time. Especially Yamakumo. He disappeared and reappeared at Shoji's side without anyone noticing it. "That was so fast. How did you do it?" asked the red-haired guy to Denki. "Actually, everything was Atanaga's plan. You see." Flashback. Yamakumo was staring at Todoroki's team from the window. Then he turned at Denki. "I have a plan." "Cool, let's hear it." "I've been watching Todoroki and I realized something. He never pays attention to the rest of us. Maybe he underestimates us. Most likely he does not know our quirks, or he does not care enough to remember them. And how that help us, taking into account his personality. He will try to end this in a quick and humiliating way. He'll freeze the entire building and we'll let him." "What? Why?" "Calm down. I'll melt the ice after that with my fire." "If you have fire, why not just avoid being frozen instead of freezing and then melting the ice?" "Because we need the water. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity." Denki smiled at this. "Most likely, Todoroki will leave his partner behind and enter the room alone. Use your quirk with enough power to paralyze it and then capture it with the capture tape. I'll take care of capturing his partner." "I like that plan, but what if it fails?" "It won't. Now come close to me. Here it comes." After saying this, a giant blast of ice entered the room. Flashback end. ... And the rest, as they say, is history. Ended explaining Denki. Most of the class was surprised by that. Yamakumo completely predicted the full battle. Bakugo, instead, was deep inside his thoughts. He completely humiliated a recommended student, while I lost to Deku. He was starting to notice the big difference between him and that Atanagi guy. "Hey, Atanagi-san, can I ask you something?" the red-haired guy asked to Yamakumo. "I guess so. In the battle it looked like you disappeared and reappeared at Shoji's side. Is that part of your quirk?" "No, I learned how to hide my presence from everyone and move without no one noticing. But I can only do it in dark places or if there's a lot of shadows in the place and I need dark-colored clothes to blend with the shadows." "That's so manly." "Manly? Should I tell him that a girl taught me this?" "Nah, the rest of the battles passed without anything outstanding. You all did a good job. Besides young Midoriya, no one else got injured today. Now if you excuse me, I must go, change into the uniform and return to the classroom." After that, All Might ruined away. He must be at his time limit, Yamakumo thought. Izumi exited the infirmary. She missed the rest of the lessons. She opened the door from the classroom and was greeted by some of her classmates. Midoriya, you are here, said the red-haired guy. You were awesome. It was so cool to work with you. Mina joined the conversation. The first was such a good fight that it filled us all with enthusiasm. Another guy said, my name is Ijiro Kirishima. Nice to meet you, said the red-haired guy. I am Rikido Sato. I am Tsuyu Asui. Call me Tsuyu-chan. And nice to meet you all. Izumi answered shyly. She then scouted the room and didn't saw Bakugo. Where is Kachin? Bakugo. He went home without saying anything, answered Mina. I need to talk with him, Izumi said before heading to the exit. Yamakumo was watching all the interaction. Is she going to tell him? I need to stop her before it's too late, he said while standing up from his desk. I need to use the bathroom. Excuse me. He then discreetly followed Izumi. Izumi managed to catch up with Bakugo before he could leave the school. Kachin, she screamed, and Bakugo turned at her. I need to tell you something. Something about my quirk. My quirk was, there you are, Midoriya. Both turned to see Yamakumo walking towards them. Sorry for interrupting, but since you are talking about your quirk, I wanted to ask you something about it. Why, yeah, what is it? Are you a late bloomer? Late bloomer? Is that a joke? All the quirks are awakened at the age of 4, no exceptions, said Bakugo. Yes, I know that, but her quirk is weird. Every time she uses it, she gets severely injured. I imagine that power in the body of a 4-year-old girl, and I only think of something much worse. Then I thought of something. Maybe she awakened her quirk at the age of 4, but the power was too much for her body to handle and it deactivated until she had an acceptable body to use it. At least that's my theory. Yamakumo ended explaining. Deku, is that true? Bakugo asked. Aye, yes, that's the only reason of why I passed the entrance exam. I activated my quirk at the exam and saved Uraraka with it. I won the necessary rescue points to pass, but I promise you that I will control it. Then hurry up and do it. I will destroy you when you are using your maximum power. That also applies to you, Scars. Scars, Yamakumo thought. I'm going to be the number 1, and that means that I will defeat everyone else. After saying this, Bakugo left. Thank you, Adanagi-kun. Yeah, whatever, next time you'll be on your own. You almost do something really stupid, Yamakumo said while returning to the classroom. Izumi followed him. No place. Did you hear it? All Might is teaching at UA, said a voice. What do you think would happen if the symbol of peace is killed by some villains? Said the voice, which resulted to be a man with a lot of hand in his body. With him there was another man that looked like a mist and a creature that looked like a bird. Problems at USJ. Another day. Another adventure. Izumi was arriving at UA, still thinking about what happened the other day. I almost revealed the secret of One for All. Adanagi-kun unintentionally saved the secret. I need to be more careful about that. The good side is that I now have an excuse to tell. By the time she arrived at the UA, it was invaded by reporters. She could see some of her friends being interviewed. Hugh, what can you tell us about All Might lessons? A reporter suddenly appeared beside her and started asking her questions. I need to go, she said to escape from the reporter. The rest of her friends were in a similar position. What can you tell us about All Might lessons? A reporter asked to Uraraka. All Might, he is really muscular. What can you tell us about All Might lessons? Another reporter asked to Ida. He has made me especially aware that I am truly enrolled in the best educational institution. We students have already been able to see not only his dignity and personality, but other aspects, such as his humor. In this way, by seeing one of the best heroes directly, we can also learn what it takes to be one. He likes to speak a lot. What can you tell us about All Might lessons? Another reporter asked to Yamakumo, who was accompanied by Kinoko. Sorry, we are from the business class. The reporters lose interest on them and let them pass. What can you tell us about? You look tired. Are you okay? Asked a reporter to Eraserhead. He is working. You are obstructing the entrance to the students. Please go away, Eraserhead said while trying to make the reporters go away. One moment, please. We want to know about All Might, a reporter said while getting close to the UAS gate. Suddenly, a metal door emerged and blocked the gates, preventing the reporter from entering the school. What is this? It's UAS barrier, or at least that's how we named it. If you try to go through that gate without a student or teacher ID, the security system activates. What's wrong with them? We just want a quick interview with All Might. While the reporters were complaining, a figure was staring at the barrier. Won a classroom. You all did a good job in the battle training. I was able to see the videos and scores. Aizawa said to the class. Bakugo, stop acting like a brat. You have talent. You just need to take advantage of it. Understood, Bakugo replied. Midoriya, you injured your arm again. You can't keep going like this. Why, yes, Izumi replied. Todoroki, it's okay to have confidence with your abilities. Even so, do not overconfidence. You thought you would finish quickly, and thanks to that you were easily defeated. Todoroki didn't answer. He just stared at Aizawa. Moving on to other matters. Sorry if this is too fast, but another test. That was everyone's thoughts. You will have to choose the class president. I want to be the president, said Kirishima. My rule will be that all girls wear the skirt 30 centimeters above the knee, said the small guy, Minta. I am ideal for that position, said the French-looking guy, Aoyama. I'll be the leader, said Mina. Shut up, extras. I'll be the one in charge. Bakugo screamed. Enough, Ada interrupted. This is a job that carries great responsibilities. Wanting to be doesn't mean you can. I propose that we decide this through votes. It is too early to know whether or not we trust someone. Also, everyone could vote for themselves, said Kirishima. Precisely. The most voted person will be the ideal for the position, Ada replied, then turned at Aizawa. Is that okay with you, Professor? As long as you decide in time, do it however you want. At the end of the voting and the votes were counted, in front of the classroom were standing Yamakumo and Momo. So, it looks like Adanagi is the president with 4 votes and Yaoyorozu is the vice president with 3. How did I manage to get 4 votes? Yamakumo thought. He then saw Kanoko smirking at him. Of course, only 1 vote. I'm glad to think that at least I seem worthy to 1 person. That means that you didn't vote for yourself, Ada. You finished? Good. Does anybody have something to say? Aizawa asked. Yamakumo raised a hand. Yes, can I quit? He said, surprising everyone. Whatever, just choose your replacement but do it fast. Aizawa answered. Since I voted for him, I choose Ida. Are you sure of this, Adanagi-kun? Sure, I didn't want the position anyways. Then, I'll do my best, Ada said with slight happiness. At the cafeteria. Are you sure you don't want to be the class president, Adanagi-kun? Asked Ada. Yeah, sure. I didn't want the position anyways, said Yamakumo while reading a book. I see. If you had told me, then I would not have voted for you. So, it was you. I know Kanoko voted for me as well. Who else voted for me? I did, said Izumi. Me too, said Kaminari. I should have guessed, said Yamakumo while returning to his reading. Still, are you sure that I'm the most capable for the position? Asked Ida. Of course, otherwise I wouldn't have voted for you, said Yamakumo without taking his eyes off his book. Then I will do my best to live up to your trust. Wow, Ida, you are so formal, said Mina. True. Are you from a rich family? Asked Uraraka. I tried to hide it by changing my form of talking. My family has been a family of heroes for generations. Answered. Right. I wanted to ask you, are you related to Ingenium in some way? Your quirk is similar to his, asked Yamakumo, drawing everyone's attention. Yes, he is my brother. He is a beloved hero who guides people and respects order and discipline. I intend to become a hero like my brother, said Ida. Suddenly an alarm started to sound. Security breach level 3 reached. All the students evacuate the place and go outside immediately. Everyone started to run at the exit. The group was about to do the same, but Yamakumo stopped them. Calm down for a second, said Yamakumo while still seated and reading his book. Adanagi-kun, we must evacuate. You heard the alarm and the announcement. Yes, I know, he said while standing up and saving his book. But if we all try to evacuate at the same time, he said, and a lot of noises drew the group's attention, seeing the rest of the students stuck in the corridor. That will happen. I see. We must remain calm even during an emergency. You are truly amazing, Adanagi-kun, said Ida. Now what? Asked Uraraka. Considering that we cannot leave until everyone calms down, we should look for the source of the problem, Yamakumo said while getting close to the window. The rest of the group followed him. Look, over there. It's just the news reporters, said Kaminari to the rest. Good. Now we must inform this to the rest of the students. We need someone to call the attention and explain everything, said Ida. Then everyone turned at him. What? You want me to do it? You are the class president. It's your time to show that you deserve that position, said Yamakumo. Right. We need a high place to draw everyone's attention. I know what to do, said Yamakumo, then turned at Uraraka. Uraraka, make Ada weightless. Yes, Uraraka used her quirk on Ada. He started to feel weird. Good. Now, don't move, Ada, said Yamakumo. They used his telekinesis to put Ada above the exit sign. Everyone, listen to me. Everything's okay. It's just the media. There is no need to panic, Ada shouted to the students. Everyone drew their attention to him, and after hearing his words, they calmed down. A few simple reporters could do this, a teacher said. All the teachers were reunited in the gates, which were destroyed. Maybe someone prompted them to do it. Nezu said, could it be that someone evil entered? Or was it his intention to declare war on us? A new day has come, and Class 1 was preparing for a special class. Today we are having a special class. Me, All Might, and someone else will be supervising the class. Aizawa said to the class, excuse me, what are we doing today? You will learn how to act in disasters such as floods and many more. We will have a rescue practice. Today's gonna be a rough day again. Huh, said Kaminari. What are you saying? This is our job as heroes. I am more than ready, said Kirishima. On this occasion, each person will have to decide whether or not to use their suit. Perhaps there are costumes that limit your activities in the middle of practice. Aizawa started explaining. The practice site is a bit far away, so we will take the bus. That is all. Begin your preparations. All the class 1 was ready to get inside the bus. Deku-chan, you are wearing the gym uniform instead of your hero costume, Uraraka said to Izumi. Yes, and my costume was destroyed in the battle training, so I have to use the gym uniform until they finish repairing it. Okay everyone, we will get on the bus in an orderly manner. Line up in 2 lines based on your class number. Ida started ordering the rest of the class. Inside the bus was of this type. Damn it, said a depressed Ida. Everyone was laughing at this. I usually say what I have in mind. Midoriya-chan, said Tsuyu. Why yes, Asui-san. I noticed that your quirk is similar to All Might's. What? Really? I didn't. Wait, Tsuyu-chan. All Might doesn't injure himself, said Kirishima, but your quirk is very cool, and you can do many things with it. Unlike my hardening, it is really useful in battle, but is very simple. I think that your quirk is really awesome, perfect for a pro, said Izumi, making Kirishima blush a little and smile. Pro level. My naval laser is so flashy and strong that it reaches the level of a pro, said Aoyama. Yes, but the stomach aches aren't really nice, said Mina, making Aoyama depressed. If we are talking about powerful quirks, we cannot pass up the quirks of Bakugo, Todoroki and Adanagi, said Tsuyu while pointing at the mentioned trio. Bakugo and Todoroki stared at her while Yamakumo, let's say that his attention was in his book rather than anything else. But Bakugo is always angry, and Todoroki is antisocial, so I think they'll never be popular. What did you say, Frog? Do you want to fight? Bakugo screamed at Tsuyu while Todoroki only glared at her. Despite knowing each other for a short time, we all know your character, Bakugo, said Kaminari, making fun of Bakugo. They are making fun of Kachin, I can't believe it. Izumi thought. What a vulgar conversation, said Momo. I don't know, it's kind of funny, said Uraraka. Get ready everyone, we are almost there, said Aizawa, drawing everyone's attention. USJ. Incredible. It's like the USJ. All kinds of disasters and accidents are simulated here, said a pro hero. Her costume consists of a white space suit design using what appears to be a puffy jacket instead of an actual suit, a black helmet with white eyes, and a pair of yellow boots. It was the Pro Hero 13. This is the practice place that I built. Its name is Unforeseen Simulation Joint, or USJ for short. It actually is USJ. Everyone thought. I can't believe it. It's 13, said Izumi with stars in her eyes. I love 13, said Uraraka. 13. Where's All Might? Aizawa asked to the hero. He run out of time. 13 answered, raising 3 fingers. The price for the irrationality. Anyway, let's begin. 3 fingers. Does that mean that All Might reached his time limit? Izumi thought when she saw 13's fingers. All Might ran out of time. Too bad, but doesn't matter. It's not like some villains would attack. Yamakumo thought. If only he knew. Before starting, I have one thing to say, or maybe 2 or 3. 13 started. As you may know, my quirk Black Hole can absorb anything and turn it into dust. I can help a lot of people with it, but this power can also easily kill people. I can imagine that there's someone with a quirk like mine in your group. In this practice you will learn how to use your quirks to save people. 13 is really amazing, said Uraraka. Now continuing with the class, Aizawa started. At this moment Yamakumo's senses began to warn him. He turned at the direction he felt and saw a black portal opening. He also noticed that Aizawa noticed this as well. Everyone, stay together and don't move. 13, protect the students, Aizawa ordered. Is this like the entrance exam? Did we already start? Asked Kirishima. Don't move. Those are real villains, screamed Aizawa while putting his goggles on. From the portals emerged a lot of villains, but the most important were the one who created the portal. It looked like a mist. The other was a giant, muscular bird-looking man. Lastly, the third one is a slim man with pale skin, tinged yellow teeth, and wrinkled a great deal around his eyes. His lips are chapped and uneven. A small mole on the right underneath, with visible scars on his right eye and under his lip. He has messy grayish-blue hair of varying lengths, the longest clumps reaching to about his shoulders, left hanging over his face in uneven waves. His eyes and mouth are normally obscured. He sports 14 embalmed hands, all positioned so they're holding on to him onto different parts of his body. Only 13 an eraser head. In the studies program it was written that All Might was going to be here as well, said the mist villain. Where is he? Even though I brought all of these people, at the end All Might isn't even here. I wonder, will he come if we kill some students? The hand villain said while scratching his neck. Villains, here. What about the censors? Asked Momo. Maybe they only appeared in here. Think about it. The gate incident. They could have used it to steal some of our schedules, so they know when and where to attack, answered Yamakumo. And they must have someone that is jamming our communications and sensors, said 13. 13, start to evacuate. Kaminari, try using your quirk to contact the school. Are you planning to fight them by yourself, sensei? They are too many, even for you, said Yamakumo. Of all those present, you more than anyone should know that a hero not only has one trick. Do you need any help? Protect your classmates. You are the best from all the students. I'm counting on you to keep the safe. Understood. Give them hell, sensei. After this exchange, Eraserhead charged against the group of villains. Some of them tried to shoot him with their quirks, but he quickly erased them, to their confusion, then trapped them with his bandages and disabled them. Idiots. That's Eraserhead. He can erase your quirks, said a villain. Erase? Huh. Can you erase mutant quirks like mine? Said another villain while trying to attack Eraserhead. No, I can't, but Eraserhead quickly wrapped the villain with his bandages. Quirks like yours. He launched the villain against the rest. Are usually combat-oriented. With the students, incredible. Aizawa-sensei can handle a large number of enemies. Izumi started analyzing. Midoriya. Now is not the time to analyze. We have to evacuate, said Ida. But before the group could escape, a black mist appeared in front of them, revealing to be another villain. Shit. I blink once and the one that seems the most dangerous escapes, thought Eraserhead from his position. Hello, we are the League of Villains. We came here to accomplish our objective. We wish to kill the symbol of peace, All Might, said the mist villain. My job is to torture all of you until All Might arrives. Before the mist villain could finish his speech, Kirishima and Bakugo attacked him. When the dust cleared, the villain seemed unharmed. You are strong. You must be the golden eggs of the UA, said the villain. You too. Get out of there, screamed 13. My job is to scatter all of you, said the villain while using his quirk to teleport the students to the different parts of the USJ. Ida and Shoji managed to save some of their classmates. Flood zone. Izumi emerged from the portal and fell inside the water. The flood zone. That mist villain's quirk must be some kind of teleportation. And what about killing All Might? What's going on? Her thoughts were interrupted by a villain who was looking at her. The first prey is here, said the villain, then opened his mouth and showed his sharp teeth. I don't have anything against you, girl, but you now die. Before the villain could bite her, he was kicked in the face by Tsuyu, who was carrying Mineta with her, then used her tongue to grab Izumi, then jumped outside the water and landed in the boat that was in the middle of the zone. Thanks, Asui-sen, said Izumi. Call me Tsuyu-chan. Anyways, the situation got complicated, right? Replied the frog girl. Asui. Quirk, frog. Tsuyu's quirk gives her a frog's physiology and allows her to do anything a frog can. Adanagi-kun was right. They knew our schedule. They were waiting for an opportunity. Izumi said. But they can't kill All Might, Mineta said in a worried tone. Mineta-chan. They wouldn't have attacked if they weren't sure they could kill All Might, said Tsuyu. What? You have to be kidding. What are supposed to do? I can't believe my luck. I'm alone with two girls and I can't do anything. Both girls stared at him with both worry and disgust. I wonder how the others are doing. In the building zone, Bakugo and Kirishima were facing some villains. In the landslide zone, Momo, Gyro and Kaminari were defending themselves against some villains, and in the fire zone, two villains fell to the floor. Kanoko and Yamakumo were back-to-back with most of the villains assigned in this zone unconscious in the floor. So, this is how you felt in the QHC assault? Asked Kanoko to Yamakumo. Nah, this is easier than the QHC. These villains are really weak. It seems that whoever in charge he preferred quantity over quality. Big mistake, answered Yamakumo while knocking down another villain. True, they aren't really smart either. They send you to the fire zone. They obviously don't know our quirks. Good intuition. We now need to discover their plan. And I'm seeing the perfect subject, Yamakumo said while throwing a fireball at the last villain. He then got closer to the villain and drew his katana. You don't want to see this. Kanoko faced the opposite direction. Stop it. I'll talk. Just stop. She could hear the villain scream. Kanoko turned again only to see Yamakumo saving his katana and the villain shaking in fear. Start speaking, Yamakumo said. Why yes, the man in charge is the one with the hands in his body. His name is Tamura Shigaraki, the Mist guy. Kurogiri, if I recall, is the second in command. They recruited us to kill All Might. How? Even with all the villains in here you wouldn't stand a chance against All Might and Eraserhead together. Unless he then remembered the bird-looking monster. The bird-looking thing, what is that? It's called Namu. That is the real weapon against All Might. They say that is designed to specifically kill him, but I don't know how. And that's all I know. Appreciate, said Yamakumo before knocking him out. That was something. Designed to kill All Might, that's crazy, said Kanoko. Know it all. If it was designed, probably his strength isn't natural. Mutation? No, it won't be powerful enough. Experiments? Probably. But it would take a lot of time to prepare something like this. Quirks? Yes. He then turned to Kanoko. That thing probably has multiple quirks. Maybe by experiments they managed to implant multiple quirks in that thing. Sometimes I forget how smart you are. But if that's true, how many quirks does that thing could have? Unknown, but I can think in some of them. If they want to face All Might, they need a good defense from All Might's punches. Probably a shock absorption or nullification quirk. If it's absorption, it would be easier. Just hit the same spot until the quirk reach its limits. If it's nullification ... well, problematic. Next, it needs strength and speed. Probably a strengthen and speed quirk. Other than that, it could have anything. Kanoko was speechless. That was a lot to process. So, what do we do now? I suggest go to the center, help Aizawa-sensei, deliver information about the Namu, regroup with others. Fine by me. Let's go. Flood zone. At the same time. Fight. How are we fighting against some villains that can kill All Might? Minta started screaming. Again, we don't have any other choice. But I've been thinking. They send you, Suyu-chan, here at the flood zone. That means that probably they don't know our quirks, said Izumi. You are right. If they knew my quirk, they would send me to the fire zone. We need a strategy. Tell me your quirks. My quirk is called Frog. I can do basically anything that a frog can. My quirk is Pop Off. My hair can adhere to any surface except me. Depending on my condition, they can stay stuck for up to a day. Okay, I can think of something. Give me a sec. Before Izumi could finish, the boat was starting to get destroyed by the attacks from the villains. They are breaking the boat, said Tsuyu. We need to go. Mind to throw your balls at the water, Izumi said. Minta did what she told him. Come on, Izumi, you can do it. Be brave like Atanagi-kun. She gathered the necessary confidence and then, with a battle cry, jumped towards the enemy. Imagine the egg on the microwave. I just need the attack reaching the water. Delaware. She prepared her middle finger. Smash. She unleashed a big blast of air from her finger into the water. Tsuyu then grabbed her with her tongue and carried Minta while he was still throwing some balls. The water started absorbing all the villains, and thanks to Minta's ball they couldn't escape. Finally, the water converged in the center again, making a huge splash of water. We defeated our challenge. You guys are amazing, said Tsuyu while carrying Minta and Izumi away from the zone. By the time they arrived the center, they could see a horrible picture. Their teacher was being massacred by the bird-looking monster. They were too scared to think and unaware that there was someone else watching this. With Yamakumo and Kanoko. Yamakumo and Kanoko were hidden behind some bushes. They watched almost everything, and Yamakumo had enough. He needs to save Eraserhead. If he doesn't do something, Eraserhead could die. But what to do? After thinking about it, he could only see one solution. Kanoko was going to hate him for this. Kanoko-san, I have an idea. Yes, what is it? I'll distract them while you take Aizawa-sensei to somewhere safe. What? Are you crazy? You will die. If I don't do something, Eraserhead will die, and without him the morality of the class will decay and more can die. There must be something else to do. No other options. If we don't act now, it would be worse. Please. Okay, but you better survive this, Kanoko said with tears falling from her eyes. Yamakumo remained silent for a few seconds. On my signal, grab Aizawa-sensei and run away. With the villains. As you can see, Eraserhead, I'm not the final boss. He is, Shigaraki said to an injured Eraserhead. Then Kurogiri appeared at Shigaraki's side. Kurogiri, did you kill 13? No, but I put her out of commission. Unfortunately, a student managed to escape. Kurogiri, if you weren't our escape route, I would have killed you. Fine, reinforcements are in the way, we must go. He then turned at the group of Midoriya, Tsuyu and Minta. But, before that, he didn't finish because he heard something. He turned and saw Yamakumo in the air. Yamakumo throwed some 2 fireballs at 2 villains that were at Shigaraki's side, then landed on his feet and unleashed a big fire blast against Shigaraki, making a big explosion. When the smoke cleared, it revealed that the Namu protected Shigaraki from the blast, leaving Aizawa alone. Kanoko, now. After this, Kanoko grabbed Aizawa and, using her quirk, jumped away from the enemy. He then saw the group of Midori. You 3, help her take Aizawa-sensei somewhere safe. I'll hold them up. Yamakumo shouted at them while knocking down 2 more villains. Tsuyu and Minta quickly followed Kanoko, but Izumi stayed behind. Atanagi-kun, are you sure about this? Don't worry, said Yamakumo while drawing his katana and setting his left arm in fire. I've faced powerful villains before. He smiled at her. Izumi followed the rest. Look, Kurogiri, we have a brave one. You really want to fight? Huh, very well, I'll have fun with you. Namu, attack him. The Namu charged at Yamakumo, and he did the same. When they were about to clash, Yamakumo used his fire to pass above the Namu and locate himself at the Namu's back and shoot some fire at the Namu's back. The Namu turned at him. Yamakumo quickly tried to slash him in the chest, but it didn't do any damage. Hahaha, you can't damage my Namu, he has shock absorption. But not only that, he has more than one quirk. He was created to defeat All Might, laughed Shigaraki. My theory was right after all. Shock absorption, that means that my katana is useless in this fight. I have to depend solely on my fire. Yamakumo took several steps back, then released a large amount of fire towards the Namu. Unsurprisingly, the Namu seemed unharmed. Didn't you hear, kid? You can't damage my Namu. You better take another look, answered Yamakumo. Shigaraki looked at the Namu, and for his surprise, the Namu had some burn injuries. How? It has shock absorption. And what about the regeneration? Why isn't working? Regeneration, huh, yes. He might absorb the hit but not the heat the fire can burn and is not a physical attack, and for the regeneration part, burned cells cannot be regenerated. He finished unleashing another fire attack, this time making the Namu back down. NOMU, stop playing around and kill him. The Namu unleashed a roar and with a swing the fire was destroyed. Then, with an incredibly speed, the Namu charged at Yamakumo with a punch, which Yamakumo barely dodged by making a backflip. Punches and kicks were given by Namu. Yamakumo, for his part, he dodged them all, thanks to the mobility that his quirk gave him. However, the last blow managed to hit him in the stomach, sending him back a few meters. Yamakumo quickly pulled himself together and threw a ball of fire straight at the Namu's face. The Namu didn't flinch, letting out a roar and tried to charge again. However, the boy puffed out his cheeks, and when the Namu was close enough, he unleashed a huge flare from his mouth, driving the Namu back and at the same time managing to get away a bit. The Namu recovered quickly, took a great leap in the direction of Yamakumo to hit him. However, Yamakumo made a quick turn to evade the blow and quickly counterattack with a fire kick directly to the Namu's face. The Namu recovered quickly and hit Yamakumo hard in the stomach, causing him to open his eyes in pain and sending him flying a few meters. Yamakumo tried to attack again but instead received another hit from the monster. Picking himself up quickly, Yamakumo leaped back to keep a little distance. It is quite strong, but I need to buy time for reinforcements to arrive, he said while panting a little. Inadvertently, Namu attacks him again with several blows which he barely dodged. However, he was unable to dodge one that went straight to his face, sending him to fly and breaking his mask. Luckily, his mask managed to cushion most of the blow. Yamakumo recovered and attacks the Namu again. He gave him a strong blow of fire in the face to later remate with a kick of fire to the face again. Take this, Yamakumo said as he created 2 large spheres of fire in each hand, bringing them together and then launching them against the Namu. At the entrance, amazing, Adanagi-kun is holding himself against that thing, said Uraraka while watching the fight from the distance. Yes, but he is clearly getting tired while the monster seems practically unharmed, besides the burns, said Shiro. At this moment, Izumi's group arrived with Aizawa in their hands. After putting him in the floor, they observed the fight as well. Yamakumo versus Namu. When the sphere of fire disappeared, the Namu appeared practically unharmed, apart from some burns on his face, right arm, and on the right side of his body. A little blood started to fall from Yamakumo's head. Damn, Yamakumo looked at his right arm. It is not complete yet, but I have no other option, I have to use it. Suddenly, the temperature around Yamakumo began to rise. His skin took on a reddish color and with a loud scream, a torrent of fire emerged from Yamakumo's body. When the fire died, Yamakumo appears with a somewhat changed appearance, surprising everyone. His skin has a reddish color, his veins protrude from his body, his eyes were covered by fire, his hood had fallen showing, while covering his hair, fire that took the shape of his hair, and his body was surrounded by an aura of fire. What did you do? Asked Shigaraki. I call this form Fire Soul. I use my fire to power up my body, hence the appearance. After this, Yamakumo gave a quick sigh and giving a strong stomp. The fire that surrounded his body took the form of a dragon the same size as the Namu. After a roar, the fire dragon headed for Namu and, to everyone's surprise, managed to send it flying a few meters back. Without wasting the opportunity, Yamakumo caught up with Namu and unleashed a series of blows and kicks of fire, ending with Namu in the air. Propelling himself towards the Namu, Yamakumo hit him with a spinning kick, sending the Namu to the ground. Yamakumo turned to his right arm, seeing how it was starting to lose its fire soul state. I can't keep this form any longer. This will be my last attack. Landing, Yamakumo prepared his right fist to hit the Namu. His fist caught fire and he charged towards the Namu. I'll take one from Endeavor's book. When his fist hit the Namu, the fire began to spread through the Namu's body. Fire soul, prominence burn. After the mighty scream, a huge number of flames emerged from Yamakumo's fist. After a few seconds, the Namu flew out and crashed against the wall. When the smoke cleared, Namu's body was lying on the ground, covered in multiple burns and unable to move or respond to Shigaraki's orders. And no, he cheated. The Namu was supposed to defeat All Might, not to lose against a student. He then turned at Yamakumo. You, if I can't kill All Might, at least I'll kill you. Shigaraki then charged at Yamakumo. The boy tried to move, but the fire soul state left him completely exhausted. Shigaraki was about to reach Yamakumo, but suddenly, have no fear, because I am here. All Might appeared between the villain and Yamakumo, punching the villain away from Yamakumo. Young Adanagi, are you okay? Just in time, All Might. I'll be fine, I just need to rest. Shit, Kurogiri, let's go. The mist villain quickly wrapped both villains away. After a few minutes of silence, the ambient relaxed a little bit. Yami-kun. Both the hero and student saw Kinoko running towards them, followed by other students. Kinoko hugged Yamakumo, making both fall to the floor. Yamakumo returned the hug. It's okay. I'm fine, he said to her ear while she was crying. After a few minutes, the rest of the teachers and the police arrived, and the students told the police what happened. "Good time you arrived at time, All Might. Good job defeating that thing," said Midnight while looking at the Namu's body. "I didn't defeat it." Young Aonagi did. All the heroes were surprised by this revelation. A student defeated something created to kill All Might. They all stared at the boy, who was being treated by Recovery Girl. And this is how the USJ incident ended. Unknown place. Shigaraki emerged from a portal. Then a voice was heard from a screen. "So, how did it went? Sensei, your Namu was useless. It didn't even fight against All Might. It was defeated by student." "A single student," Shigaraki said with rage. "A student? Huh. Do you know his or her name?" asked the voice. "No, but I remember his face. I will have my revenge." Calm down, Tamura Shigaraki. Use this experience to learn, and next time you will succeed.